Yeah, this is difficult terrain. Tarra's Fist. And, man, I think we are on the precipice today. We're on the precipice. Oh, is that a Capri Sun? Oh, man, now I want a Capri Sun. Ah, fuck, it's a genuine Capri Sun. There's a part of me that wished it was, like, off-brand, but no, it's the good stuff. Fuck. I haven't had a Capri Sun in forever.
Sponsored by.
My favorite thing about Capri Suns are the containers. They're just fun. I think they're very they're kind of cool. Yeah. They're kind of like they remind. In fact, I think NASA used the Capri Sun containers to transport drinks because it was just a really good container for outer space, which I think is hilarious.
That's quite cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But anyway, so we're on the precipice today. We're gonna do this. Last episode, we went to bed, as we do most at the end of most episodes, but we're waking up. The party has almost all of their ducks in a line to go into the Sunless Citadel. I think there maybe was like one or two minor things left. And then, how has your week been? How have you been doing?
Weird, I guess. I had some foot pain this week. You know, the usual stuff. I think you know of my occasional nerve damage that occasionally crops up.
Occasional full organ failure. You know.
Yeah. You know. This time it was funny. This time when I woke up with the pain, I looked at my foot and the veins were all swollen and angry, and I was like, "Ooh, that doesn't look good." So I got like some frozen stuff and I chucked it on there for a little bit, and then I read somewhere that like you should try and elevate your foot above your heart so that the blood flows better out of it. So I was like, "Oh, that sounds like a decent idea." And then I did that, and the veins calmed down a bit, but the pain didn't go away. So I guess it's two separate issues. So that's.
Hey, you dealt with one though. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
You won't have a blood clot forming or whatever the hell is going on down there. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
That sounds rough.
And I'm currently involved in a feud with a supermarket. Because because of my injuries, I've been ordering a lot of food, and they have not been delivering to my door, even though they say that.
Where have they been delivering?
To the communal area.
Is that like down the staircase?
Down 4 flights of stairs, yes.
And there's no elevator.
Oh no.
Yeah, of course,
yeah,
of course not.
No. So I've even though that's their policy to deliver to your door. So I've currently been involved in a feud with. First of all, it was the delivery driver who sassed me. So I scorched.
Oh fuck! You got sassed.
Scorched earth on that one.
Wait! How'd you even get in a discussion with the delivery driver if they're not going up to your door?
Because I have to come down to get the things to pick them up.
Oh, so they're just sitting there waiting.
Yeah.
And you get there and you're like, "Hey, motherfucker,
get it up the stairs." Yeah, because oftentimes if I tell them like get the fuck up the stairs, they'll be like, "Oh, fine," and they'll do it. But I still have to walk down, and with my foot, that's horrible. And also, I don't want to be in contact with them. Part of the reason why I'm doing this is to keep everyone else safe from me. Like I don't want to like be near anybody. Like so.
It is weird, yeah.
Yeah. So. Anyway, and now it's moved on to dealing with management, so the feud has progressed. So,
oh yeah, nice.
Hopefully,
maybe try. I mean, is there only the one? Do they have a monopoly?
No, but I've been told they're the best for this. The others won't do it. So I picked these guys specifically because I was told that they would deliver to your door. So I've talked to management, and hopefully I'm going to have like my aim is to just have like a note on my account or something that like you deliver to this guy's door.
Actually take it to the fucking door.
and I'm willing to possibly pay more, and I'm also willing to pay less, if you know what I mean. So like I'm willing to pay more and have it delivered to my door, but if they won't deliver to my door, I'm also willing to pay less because fuck that shit. I'm not going to pay full price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might as well just, if they're not going to deliver it to your door, might as well just get the groceries.
That's another that is a point I've been making, is the whole point of this, because the store is like right there. The reason why I'm doing this is for the it's for the accessibility. So, and
because the store is right there, like it's not that hard for them to deliver it.
Also true, yeah. They were late today as well. That was one thing that bothered
me. they're like looking at their watch and they're like, "Hey, when's that delivery?" It was 3 minutes ago. Yeah, we still got time. It's pretty close. What the fuck? That's wild. That's weird. So that's always a thing, right? Where someone's like, they're the best, and then you find out, oh, they are the best, but the best isn't that good.
Yeah.
There's so many things like that where with like just various services, you're like, man, is this the best? Like this getting fucked is the best. What's the worst? Did they just cut your arms off and beat you to death? Like, what's the worst version of this? Yeah, no, that's too bad. I'm, hopefully, sounds like you've really gotten in on the management though. You really, so hopefully they'll. Yeah. Today I started. So before the pandemic, I was working out twice a week, going to the gym, and then when the pandemic hit, I was like, I'm sure I'll figure out how the new regimen soon. Just take a week break. And I just never started again, and so it's been like 4 months. And so today we ran, and I almost died. It was awful, but it was good. So now we're gonna get started exercising again because, like, we just like because I used to walk a lot for my for my courses and stuff, but now I'm getting almost no walking in every day. There's so much sitting. And the other day I thought, man, I think I might die. Like, this is gonna kill me. This is like, and unlike you, I don't have any excuses. My feet work. There's no blood veins. There's no explosion.
I'm sure the feet thing is completely related to my refusal to walk.
Oh, okay. So
no, it is my fault. So
this is the later day version. This is like Marshall if he didn't exercise today.
I should be a warning to everybody. Yeah.
Have you ever gotten into like a fitness regimen or?
Yeah, I played like football for a team for like a long time.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you used to play football all the time. Yeah.
That's what I would like to do again, but it's
Did you do like a lot of like? Did you guys do like a lot of like training for that, or was it just casual? Or
usually in the UK, it's if you are playing casually, you'll train once a week and then you'll have a game once a week.
Oh, that's still even casually. That's good exercise. Yeah. Well, yeah. No. Are people doing that? Probably not.
Not at the casual level. Obviously, like at the top level, football's back, but I don't think local football is back yet. Because I don't think local football can go into an isolation bubble every week. Oh no! Don't worry, Dave. I'll be back in work in 14 weeks. I got a away game on the weekend. I'm gonna have to quarantine for 14 days with the lads. Sorry, boys. Gonna have to call it in for the week, I'm afraid. Oh, have you tested positive? Oh no, there's an away game next weekend, I'm afraid. We're going down to Barry Island, we are. It's gonna be important 3 points for the season that's been called off.
And then we're getting 4 hotel rooms, and we're getting drunk as a skunk for 2 weeks straight while we quarantine. And then we'll be good, I'll be back. Oh man, that would be fun, but I'm fairly certain you would come back to not having a job.
I'm fairly certain you would also probably have a very high risk of infection.
Oh yeah, probably. I mean, especially like if you're
resources of like the top level football of like tests when you get there and stuff like that. Yeah, for sure. I still haven't gotten a test during the pandemic yet. Me neither.
Mainly because like every time I considered it, I'm like, well, the testing stations are probably pretty high risk. It's a bunch of people who think they have coronavirus. So you probably shouldn't go there unless you think you have coronavirus, because like you might get coronavirus from getting a test. I mean, I'm sure they're like sanitary as they can be, but like when you're in the vicinity of that many people that like might be positive, it just seems like that's one of the more high risk areas, I would bet. So every time I've considered it, I've talked myself out of it because I'm like, there's isn't really a reason to. Because like, so 1 or twice during the pandemic, I got like weird symptoms that for a second I thought might have been, and who knows? I mean, you could obviously be asymptomatic, so it could have been that I was at one point, but it never got bad enough where I thought it was a good idea to go get tested, just because I was just, I could quarantine myself, so
Yeah, I was about to say, like, for me, it was, I heard good advice, I can't remember from where it was, but I think it was a medical professional, was like, you should just always act like you have it anyway, and that's what I've been doing, so it doesn't really matter whether I have it or not, because I've been acting like I do the entire time, so.
Yeah.
Just to keep everyone else safe.
Yeah. Okay, so without a further ado, we are going to hop in to this episode of Difficult Terrain, Tara's Fist. Last time, our brave adventuring group, Bravish, we'll call them, Bravosh, Tarius and his lads, plus Kristen, who he's regretting taking. Which when I heard that, yeah, that fucking annihilated me. That was so funny.
I will be replacing Kristen with Hook at the first opportunity.
Oh yeah. Hook's kind of an interesting one because so with a lot of these characters, they get by third level, they have 3 first level abilities. So when I backscaled them to first level, it was easy to just go 2, now 1 ability. But with Hook, her third level ability is a once daily. So I was like, how do I do this? So I just was like, okay, Hook doesn't have a power until she gets to third level. But she is skilled enough. She has 4 skills. And she has other things that just make her like effective to have around. So yeah, I mean, Hook's not a bad pick. I also think Cuthred, even though he's a pacifist, he's a good pick because he can give bonuses to his allies and heal you guys. So I think Cuthred, especially like maybe later on, if you have more HP, Cuthred might be a good one to bring. And then I think, yeah, I don't know. There's some decent ones, but I definitely think Cuthred's a good sort of utility one to bring. Anyway, as is Hook, I think. Although Hook can also do some decent damage. Anyway, so I believe that you guys had arrived in Whitevale, and when you did, you kind of broke up. You, Tarius, went to speak to the Reeve, and you had a good conversation with him, and you kind of made a deal with him to offer. You're basically going to try to get rid of these goblins in exchange for some payment. And Kristen is actually this morning going to negotiate what that payment looks like. And in terms of, I believe Alessandro got some fur, and everyone else sort of went to, or he went to a tanner, a leather worker, to help him with his fur that he got. And the rest of the party went to the old boar, where you guys talked about, Alessandro shared some thoughts about dragons and the time he had been in a dragon city. Oh, great story.
Great story.
And everyone else was like, but it didn't have an arc. It was just
Tara's just amused with the image of halflings being destroyed by dragons because of their wee little legs.
Can't wait for Tarius's vacation to Arigia, where he's like, look at these little guys! Look at them! And they're like, kill him. Arrest him.
Don't put ideas of a vacation into Tarius's head, okay? That's just mean. He's gonna die today.
Where would Tarius? What kind? In terms of like what climate do you think Tarius would want a vacation in? Somewhere in the Alps? Would he like a tropical beach? Would he like rolling, hills? What kind of place would Tarius relax in?
Tarius would want like as boring of a climate as possible, because he'd think if it's too hot, he might because his skin's so weak, he could very easily get sunburned.
So not too much sun.
Yeah, not too much sun. And if it's too cold, he could easily freeze to death, even in like a like minor cold weather. And if the roads get closed and he doesn't get food, then he's fucked. And
not too much wind, because that can suck the life out of him.
It can also just knock him over. He's not going to
break a hip. Yeah. If no one's around, he'll just die.
Rain, he can drown very easily if a little bit of rain gets in his mouth.
Especially if he looks up.
Yeah. Oh god. Oh, he's dead. He's dead. He's gone.
Oh no. Yeah, my eyes.
I don't think Tarius should have a vacation. I think he's probably no.
Maybe Tarius is more of a staycation kind of guy. Like when he vacations, he goes to a nice hotel.
Yeah.
And he just and he just hangs out in the hotel. He doesn't leave. He stays in the nice rooms, gets room service.
No, I think for a vacation for Tarius is probably going back to the family estate when nobody else is home. Because Tarius kind of hates most of his family. So
he likes his house, but he doesn't really like his family.
He likes his house. He likes the peasants. He likes
the land.
Yeah.
And it's decently temperate country. It's actually like it makes
coast.
sense because you grew up in a place that is like not too hot, not too cold, not too. It might be a little bit windy, so you would always be on the lookout for wind.
Yeah.
You'd always be like, "Oh, is it windy today?" But and it would have rained occasionally. But you, of course, always you're probably. I feel like Tarius is the kind of guy whose leg hurts when it's about to rain.
Oh yeah, you got it in his head.
Yeah. But okay, so we are going to launch with the party awaking. You are awoken, Tarius, by Alessandro, and he says, "So today's the day."
That it is, Alessandro. Today is the day. We will travel out into the snowy climate and attempt to climb down a ravine into a long-buried place with an ancient evil. How exciting.
It's actually summertime right now. It's not too snowy.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, okay.
That's true.
Okay, cool. With a place
It was very cold when you were in the mountains, but you've come down now. So, what were you gonna say?
With a place like White Vale, I always picture in my head that it's like white year round. But
well, I think the implication is that it gets pretty cold here in the winter. But no, it's not. It's not like frozen year round. Weirdly,
cool.
It's maybe in a way its name is a trick. It's a lie.
Yeah, in part to keep it safe, because outsiders bring trouble. And if it's called White Vale, you're like, fuck that. It's probably
it's like calling your amazing volcano island Iceland. No one's gonna want to visit it, even though it's super dope and like there's like solar panels everywhere. It's like Iceland would be really cool to visit, but like if you just hear the name, you're like, fuck that. No, I don't want to go to Iceland. That sounds awful. I've also heard Icelandic is like the hardest language to learn. Like I met Icelandic people in Germany when I was there, and we were talking about languages, and they were like, yeah, we barely know our own language. We know one of them was like, I'm actually more fluent in English than I am in Icelandic, because Icelandic is so complex that even some of the Icelandic people don't know it that well. Apparently, it's wild from what I've heard. But he might have also just been stupid. I mean, it's possible, but I didn't know him that well. So you're woken up. You're ushered into the tavern. Let me get some music playing. I'm guessing you get some food for the day.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I assume it was paid for yesterday by Ragni.
Yeah.
Breakfast,
Yeah. He arranged all of that, and they have a series of quail's eggs that they bring out and basically make a big omelet for you.
I was playing
as well as
I was playing Pillars of Eternity recently, so I recognize some of this music now.
Oh yeah. I really like Pillars music. I think it's got a good score. Jeremy Soule does good work.
I bounced off it again, but this time it took me a little longer than the last couple of times I played it.
Yeah, I've bounced off it too.
Yeah.
But that doesn't say much because I've bounced off of a lot of isometric games. Like, I think for me, it's that I want to like isometric games, but they're harder for me to enjoy, and it takes a while for me to like get into one. So it's just sort of always been that. I'm not sure if you're like that. It sounds like you have more particular things with Pillars specifically, but I just find isometric games kind of hard to get into. Like, for example, Wasteland 2, I really wanted to get into that game, but I've bounced off it 3 times. Every time I've tried to play Wasteland 2, it's just been like... it doesn't help that I suck at isometric RPGs.
Yeah, that really doesn't help.
I die so much.
Yeah.
Do you suck too?
Yeah, I suck pretty bad.
Yeah, it's awful. So it's like, it doesn't help that you're like, God, I'm so bad. I keep dying. I can't do anything. It's just like, and then I'll talk to friends who have played the game. They're like, you haven't even done this yet? Jeez, you're so shit. I'm just like,
I think that's one of the reasons why it's so easy for me to get into like Fallout and Fallout 2, is because like those games you don't have to find anything, like ever.
Yeah, yeah, you can avoid most of the combat. Yeah, I totally agree. And if you do run into something in the desert,
You can just run
it'll
away
be yeah, you need to
Oh,
run away.
that's fair.
Like almost every battle at level 1 in the desert will kill you. I don't think it's possible to beat rad scorpions at level 1 or like any of the things you're gonna see. Certainly not like if you randomly run into super mutants. You're fucked. You're fucked into oblivion.
Yeah. Into Oblivion? Wow, that game wasn't even out when that game was released.
Exactly. It shoots you into the
crazy.
future. They shoot in 2006.
We need to meet some of these people who were shot into Oblivion.
and yeah. And so now when they shoot you into oblivion, they shoot you into the past.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
That's why the game has been crashing and it pops up on Steam installing Oblivion.
What? Is that a thing? I've not heard of that.
No, the game crashing is, but the Oblivion thing is.
Oh, well, yeah. I've never... The second part I wasn't... Okay, yeah. That's funny.
Just it's old code that doesn't work quite right anymore.
Yeah, people keep... They're like, why do we have to keep patching this? What has changed? The old patch worked. It's because people get crashing into the programming. They just they cut through it. You need to fix it every time. Anyway, so yeah, you are eating your quail and toast and plenty of nice butter and probably some vegetables on the side, some like onions and potatoes, and kind of like a pottage type deal, and it's quite a hearty. They made sure you got the heartiest meal, and I think that just as a note, you know, we've talked about how Tarius really likes his big meals. Every meal he gets is just going to be as big as he can get it. I think you might have noticed by now that your dwarvish companion Ragni seems to eat kind of like. You've seen his dinners are giant. Like, he can eat a ton of food for dinner. But he's very, like, reserved with his breakfast. It's kind of like you just see him have, like, a little bit of toast and a tiny little beverage. And he's very, like, quick about his breakfasts. Everyone else kind of eats a moderate amount. No one eats as much for breakfast as you do. Although, occasionally, Serenal feels competitive with you. And tries to eat as much as you do, but like then he realizes that you're not really competing back, and he gets sad and he just stops.
Yeah, but I think Tarius is probably pretty intense when he's eating to just get through it. Not for any competitive reason, but just because he wants to get on to do other things.
It'd be kind of like if someone was trying to drag race you, but you just weren't paying attention, and they're just like, "Oh," they just
and you
slow
were still
down.
winning. You were just like cruising in like a really expensive car, and you just hear from a beat, something that's beat up, so the engine's just like really howling on the side of you.
And actually, you've got. You barely hear it because your car's so nice. It has like soundproof, an interior, and
just
you're
relaxing.
just like,
you're just listening to some music in there.
Got some earbuds in. Yeah. I've heard wearing earbuds while you're driving is super dangerous.
I made that motion, but realistically, it'd be over the stereo.
I've done it before, so it made me like.
I think it's just like the more awareness you can have, right? You want to be able to hear cars.
Yeah, for sure. Because I have an old car that just has a CD changer, and so when I have CDs, but sometimes I want to listen to like. Music on Spotify or something, or audiobooks or a podcast or something. So then I have to like, I mean, I wouldn't have to. I guess I could just listen to my phone speaker, but it kind of sucks.
Or get a Bluetooth speaker. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah. Ooh, it'd be cool if I could attach it to like the head, like the front of the car. Then I just Anyway, so a few minutes into your meal, you realize you're so intense you barely realize it, but your Kristen wasn't there, and then a few minutes later, when you're getting towards the end of your meal, Kristen walks through the door and quickly gets a drink and some food, eats it, drinks it, and comes over to you and says, "Well, sir, I discussed the matter of payment with the Reeve. He seemed like a nice man. this James Morley. He seemed to. Well, you seemed to make a good impression of him. He seemed pretty. What's the word? Amenable to negotiate, unlike many of our dealers. And she says. So anyway, he has offered if we are able to wipe out the goblins, he will be able to pay us. He has discussed 1,000 gold up front. Well, not up front. Sorry, 1,000 gold if we are able. If we come back and report to him that we have wiped out the goblins, and he also said that in 6 months, if no other goblin attacks have been cited, he will then pay us an additional 2,000 gold, 3,000 total.
For the first 1,000 gold, Kristen, when we had our discussion yesterday, he mentioned perhaps managing to scatter the goblins without wiping them out. Has that changed, or is that also an option to get the 1,000?
I think he spoke. It seemed to me that he didn't really care what the final fate of the goblins was, as long as the attacks stop. So if we could imprison them, or scatter them, or kill them, or even, I suppose, I doubt it's possible, but convince them to stop, then payment would be promised. The second part of the payment is to ensure that we've actually succeeded. He seems to like you, but I don't know, it seemed like he had reservations with mercenary work in general. In any event...
Yes, he spoke actually of some bad experiences in the past. I think he was an ally of his. But regardless.
Well, in any event, it seems that he allowed me to have a quick peek at his books, and it does seem that his credit is good. He'll be able to pay us in full if the job is completed, assuming he's actually telling the truth, which, well, he seems to be an honorable man. I doubt he would lie. And to be fair, even if he did lie, 1,000 gold is nothing to...
Indeed, especially considering it is not the main payment we will receive for our mission. 1,000 gold is...
Yes!
Definitely.
It could help us with the Mouldering account. She starts like writing. Anyway, but she says, I told him that unless you came to visit him today, then I said that you would probably accept the deal. So unless you have any problems with it, I think we're good to go.
No, I think you've done excellently. Well done. Imprisoning the goblins is interesting. Is goblin slavery legal this side of the border?
Kristen and Kristen and Renault both make this yikes face when you say that. But Ragni says, I don't think so, unfortunately. But it's legal in some places.
I like the way you think, Ragni. But I think smuggling goblins across the continent might be a bit of a hefty task.
Well, maybe we couldn't make a full profit, but there's plenty of, we might call them less than reputable merchantmen in the ports of this fair isle. Perhaps if we were to go to one of them, we could sell them the slaves, and they could deal with the rest.
Perhaps. We should...
This conversation is making Renault and Kristen more yikes by the second.
Think of the accounts, Kristen. Regardless. The law of the land is the law of the land.
Just triple dip. I think so. I'll say that Renault would also know a little more about the law of the Isles because he was at one point a knight in the actual aristocracy. He says, I do not think that slavery is punished extremely harshly in the Isles, but there is no legal market to sell slaves to. So, Ragni is right. We would have to find some sort of businessman. I do not know how we could actually use the slaves in legal capacity, although I think because they are goblins, few magistrates would care very much if we were caught with them.
Well,
if they were humans, that would obviously be
very different.
a different matter.
Yes. Well, the way I see it is they wouldn't be very useful anyway. If they're holed up in some sort of ancient citadel, then they clearly wish to take rather than build, which means they can't be very good at the building.
Ragni says, that's fair, but if we sell them to some merchantman, that's his problem, not ours.
True, and anyone can work the fields.
Yeah. We can, put a little shine on them.
I know nothing of these goblins. I think we should approach this at least on the outset.
You get there. They've built the premier goblin civilization. They're industrious. They're hardworking. They've got.
Then Tarius would attempt to negotiate. If that's the case, if that's what he finds, then he'll offer them a deal.
That would be weird. You're like, what is this? They're like, hey, welcome to Goblin Town.
Time is money, friend.
You got me to do a job? Or... We heard you took a child. Someone might have taken a child around here. I don't know. You'll have to talk to someone.
Get capital, get going.
And you're like, I thought there was a dungeon run. I'm like, just kidding. It's a city game.
Regardless, I think we should approach this, if they have launched raids upon this city, at least on the outset, like we are marching off to battle. Renault, do you have our flag with you?
Renault says, it's Renault's job.
In his picture,
no.
He has a flag.
Oh, yeah, of course. He's like, yes, right here. Of course. I have the flag. Always I have the flag.
Good. Excellent. Well, while we march, you should display it proudly.
Good. I shall do so.
And do we have the flag of the Baron of Moorland on us? Doubtful, but it's a shot in the dark.
I'll tell you what. I will say that there is a.
Can I roll the dice? Whatever it ends up being.
Sure. So you can roll. There's 4 of you.
Yeah.
Wait, no, there's 5 of you.
Yeah. Plus, there was a rank and file who might have brought it. I don't think.
Yeah, but he's not with you anymore.
Okay.
So like.
Yeah.
So we're gonna say. So you can roll 5 D100s if you roll under if you roll 15 or under on any of them, then one of you remembered the flag.
No, none of us remembered the flag.
Oh my god, those are exceptionally high rolls.
They are. There's a 95 and a 97. There's 3 90th percentiles.
An 82 and the 70 is a high 70.
79. Yeah.
It's wild. Man, I don't know. It's the max roll's 500. You got 446. That's really fucking good. Oh my god. The average is like 251 or 255, something like that. Anyway, yeah. So you, unfortunately, none of you brought the flag of the Baron. If you really wanted to get it,
well, I was thinking maybe we could ask at the Reeve for the flag of White Peak.
Oh, you could definitely do that. I think I was gonna say there might even be someone in town who just happens to have
that.
Have it. It's unlikely, but if you wanted to make rolls and try to find it, you could. You could also easily get a crest of White Peak.
And I would also make sure the Reeve is. I know the Reeve isn't really an authority on the matter, but the Reeve would be happy with us displaying it on the march to the goblins. So I'll send Kristen to go do that because she's already met in this one, and then I'll send Alessandro to go see if he can rustle up a flag of Moorland. And then I'll have everyone else get to the gates.
Nice. So, we're gonna say, Kristen has to make a very easy persuasion check, DC 5, just to tell him that you guys won't fuck up the flag.
All good.
Oh my god! She made it. And he's like, okay, I was almost not going to give it to him, but I'll give it to you. Meanwhile, Alessandro, so his is a much harder task.
Yeah.
We are going to make. We're going to have him make an investigation check, and it's going to be DC. And I'm choosing investigation over perception because he's actually going to be talking to people too. He's going to be,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking of perception. I was thinking of either charisma or investigation. Yeah, investigation.
Yeah. So yeah, and I mean charisma. I think if he was a different kind of character, he might do it that way. But I feel like the person Alessandro is, he would be much more inquisitive, less like
Reads.
you know, like hey, I got a flag.
Yeah.
But he'd be more like flag where, you know.
And then write down the answers and like yeah.
Yeah. So he goes out, and I think he's gonna have to make a DC 18 investigation check to find a flag of Moorland.
No.
That's too bad. Yeah, so he goes out decently close, but no cigar. He goes out, he comes back. Kristen and him both come back near the same time. Kristen probably comes back sooner because hers was a much quicker task. She has the flag, the banner successfully, and she unfurls it, shows it to you. It's a nice banner. And Alessandro comes back probably about 20 minutes after that, nothing in hand. He looks ashamed. No, he says, unfortunately, I asked. There was an old man who knew someone who was from the barony, who he thought might have had it. That person passed away 2 years ago, and their belongings scattered to the wind now, I suppose. I don't know where they are. So that was the only lead I was able to find, and unfortunately it was cold.
Okay. I look at him and say, "You did a good job, regardless." And then I'll make sure to hand over the White Peak banner to Renault, and we'll fly the White Peak banner above the Tara's Fist one.
Nice. Okay, so you were flying White Peak above Tara's Fist to show that's a very diplomatic approach. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
The soldiers see you and they're like, "Oh, did you join our army?"
Kind of. Would you like to come along?
Oh, sure. I mean, if it's official and everything.
We're going to war with those stinking goblins.
Did the sergeant approve this? He probably will if you talk to him.
The reeve did. Should I speak? Well, would you like me to speak to the sergeant? We talked to the reeve. Is the sergeant the more appropriate discussion we should have, friend?
Oh yeah, you also talk to the reeve. Jeez, you guys are important. By the end of the day, you have an army at your beck and call.
We march, men.
Yeah, you just sit outside the dungeon. You're like, they'll get it. They'll get
it done. Bring the boy and the dead adventurers to me. The rest of the
Alessandro, get me some ice for my drink while I relax.
While I clean my bow. Oh wait, I don't care about my bow. Let me clean my sword.
You throw it into the ravine. Alessandro's like, yeah.
He jumps after it.
Yeah, just a leap.
See him elegantly land with it at the bottom of the ravine.
Yep. Climbs up. It takes an hour, and you're like, "Oh, Alessandro, where you go?" You didn't even notice.
He like gives the bow back to me. All right. Yeah.
So yeah,
we'll march off.
Yeah. So you march off. Cool. So you have been the reeve gave both you and also gave Tristan. I don't know if he gave it to you like in character, but he would have in that discussion at some point given you the directions.
Yeah.
To the place. And basically he says that there's an old road that leads from here to other towns in the region, and on the way to one of the other towns, far before you reach that town, the road, everyone here just calls it the old road. It bends close towards this old ravine, and he says that's the most direct way, easiest, safest way to get to the ravine is just to follow the road, and when you get to the close bend, then you just walk to it.
Okay.
Anything else before you leave? Is that everything you needed?
I say to Alessandro, do you think you're going to be able to find some way down? Or should we buy some climbing gear? Even with climbing gear, I would prefer to find a way down. But
he says,
maybe it won't be possible.
Nothing is certain. Worst case scenario, we could always go back to get climbing gear. But I think that you were told, by the way, it's like a 2-hour walk to the ravine. He says, I think that we were told that 4 adventurers got lost here. What was that? More than a week ago. Actually a month ago. If that happened, I would guess that there is some way to get in. I suppose they could have brought climbing gear, but perhaps whatever way they used to get in, they will have left signs that we can use to get in.
Okay, you have given me optimism, Alessandro. Let's get moving.
Okay. So in other words, if they did need climbing gear, they might have had to leave it, or like leave kittens, or who knows what, So, because it's kind of difficult to like. Okay, I fix I'm putting in the pit and then I climb down. Okay, now I'm gonna get out the pit and somehow, even though I'm
also I've just realized in my starting gear I actually have some pretty solid climbing equipment. I have a hammer, some 10 pittons, and some rope. So
yeah, and you could even if you don't have actual, because there is actual climbing. I think it's a climber's kit. Even if you don't have that, you can obviously still figure out ways to climb. I think the actual climber's kit, I don't know how much it costs, but there is one in the player's handbook. But like obviously, if you have rope, you have pittons or grappling hooks, things like that.
The only thing that I think would be missing from this is like climbing shoes if it was ice, a harness, or we can make a makeshift harness out of rope, and then there was one more thing. Oh, ice picks.
And also the way a climbing kit works is belays, so it'll basically be a series of connections between you and the other people you're climbing with, so that if one of you falls, the other person holds them up. Yeah, basically. But also like if it's not a super, I guess it depends how long. Anyway, we'll find out when you get there.
Yeah, we'll find out when you get there. Yeah.
You get there, you just step, and you're like, oh. So, you guys are walking, and Ragni says, last night there was an old, a strange tune that came up during my revelry with some of the boys in town.
Why?
They said it spoke of a dragon in the area that once devastated parts of the land here. And
do you think it could have been that dragon we saw on the way into town?
Hard to say. The lyrics to their little tune was, "See the old dragon from his throne sink with enormous ruin down."
You think it might have something to do with the ravine?
Maybe. It could have been that the thing that sunk the citadel was a dragon. I don't know.
Well, I hope it sure as hell isn't still there.
Well,
we're fucked.
Worst case scenario, we fight a vampire riding a dragon.
Ragni, when you say worst case scenario, that is supposed to indicate that the worst case scenario really isn't all that bad.
No, it's terrible. It's
awful. We would be dead. We would be dead before. Well, I would be dead before either of you get to your weapons out.
We would all be, for sure.
Well, yes, but me first, because look at me.
Yes, you first.
Yes, me first.
Even if we died in the same moment, there would probably be a few microseconds before I died.
Am I really alive? That is the real question. Have I ever been dead this entire time?
I mean, some might say you have sort of a hummingbird life cycle where, every second you sort of die and then you're reborn and you're just...
actually, thinking about it, if we do run into a vampire, maybe I can negotiate with him. I sort of look like an undead.
Whenever you walk up to him and the vampire's like, "Foul human, I will," and then you stop moving and he's like, Is that you, cousin?
Is that you, Count von Gladvin?
It has been a long time.
Oh, brother, please.
You just as much effort as you do. You try not to move whenever he's looking at you. So you just wait.
No, I'll just say to him, ignore this illusion I used to get my victims. And then I'll like flash him the ring and I'll be like, please tell me you come from a feudal society.
And he's like, you obeyed it. They become Italian. It gets weird. You guys make a pasta together. Anyway,
we evolved, and I joined a mafia in 2 of my campaigns that I'm currently playing.
That's funny. So yeah, it's 7 miles from Oakhurst to the Sunless Citadel. Do you guys walk at a normal pace, or?
That's an excellent question.
I mean, you just got to get into the pace game, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. 7 miles is normal terrain. Well, I was on a road, so I assume, yeah. Okay.
It's a flat road. Relatively flat. Might be a hill every once in a while, but
so
nothing.
It's just over 2 hours.
It would be, yeah. We round it to about 2 hours, but yeah, it's just slightly over 2 hours.
To 2 hours and 20 minutes. So.
Yeah.
Nah, slow pace. I mean, you said it gets to other towns, but there's goblins on the road. But we're carrying a banner, so we're not trying to use stealth. Fast pace.
Fast pace?
Yeah. Just a forced march, with the banner. Yeah.
Nice.
Marching on the roads.
Nice.
Singing some songs.
Cool.
With Ragni.
Cool, yeah.
So I'm just completely not paying attention. That's why the -5 passive perception. Me and Ragni are just going to sing some more songs as we march down the road with the banners.
We sing some more songs and we sing it all the day.
What do we think of goblins? Shit! What do we think of shit? Goblins! Thank you! That's alright! We ain't goblins, we ain't goblins, we ain't goblins, we ain't goblins.
That's funny. So yeah, you guys walk along the road at a quick pace. So how quick would that be? It would be
It'd be under 2 hours. It would be, let's see here. It would be what's a quarter of an hour? It's 50 minutes. So it would be an hour and 45 minutes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so you and after an hour, nothing too crazy. Too crazy seems to happen. The land seems quiet. And
quiet?
It seems suspiciously quiet. And then when it gets like an hour and a half, things get real quiet. You don't hear as many birds. You don't see any animals in the distance. The plants become less green and more brown and gnarled. And the ground becomes muddier and sodden in some places. And the sky seems drearier here. And this music is too nice, so we'll change that.
Almost as if this place is devoid of sun.
Almost as if there is no the mostly sunless citadel.
No.
Hey, did you hear about that mostly sunless citadel? There's sun occasionally, but not usually. So you
Yes.
It's a citadel, not traditionally sunny, but on occasion.
On occasion.
It is.
Yeah.
You get close enough. As you begin to reach this bend, you can see the ravine. And it's basically this. It looks like this huge scar in the land. I doubt that it's not traditionally the sort of terrain here, so I doubt Tarius has seen canyons before. But I'm trying to think if any of you have seen canyons before. No,
Maybe Alessandro. Did Alessandro travel like
everywhere? Maybe. I mean, Alessandro hasn't been everywhere. He's been to a lot of places. I'll roll real quick just to see. No, even Alessandro hasn't seen canyons. So, but I mean, probably most of you know what a canyon is,
Sure.
know what a ravine is. But this doesn't look exactly like what you've been told they look like. It looks almost like it looks very sudden, right? The ground, there's not this gradual change, right? And this leveling where you get mesas and different, layers into the ravine. It's just a very sudden, sharp cutoff, and you can see the other side of the ravine from here, and it just seems to straight all the way down, as if the land just cracked open in a massive split, suddenly and without warning. And you get very close to where the bend occurs. The old road passes to the east of the narrow ravine. At the road's closest approach to the cleft, several broken pillars jut from the earth where the ravine widens. Two of the pillars stand straight, but most lean atop sloped earth. Others are broken, and several have apparently fallen into the dark depths. A few similar pillars are visible on the opposite side of the ravine. A sturdy knotted rope is tied to one of the leaning pillars on this side of the ravine.
Okay, I'm gonna investigate that rope. Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, quite.
Yes. Why don't you roll an investigation check? Just for fun.
Sure.
Use the word investigate.
Yeah. 6.
You don't even see the rope. No, I'm just kidding. you see it. You see it.
Good.
Yeah. You got a 6.
Yeah.
You see that it is tied to, like I said, one of the leaning pillars, and it hangs down into the darkness of the ravine. It seems to be in good condition. And you don't think it's like an ancient rope or anything. You don't think it's like, oh, this was left here 100 years ago and it's like fraying. It looks like it's in decent condition, and that it probably was left here recently. It looks like it has been rained on, so it doesn't look pristine, like out of the box, but it looks better than you would think. And also from the edge of the ravine, you see older and weathered handholds, sort of carved in the cliff face.
Okay. I'm going to... go ahead.
And Ragni, by the way, meanwhile, while you're doing this, Ragni comes over and says, "These are dwarvish runes on these pillars." And he sort of points to them. He says, "They're warnings to trespassers."
What exactly do the warnings say, Ragni?
They say not to step onto the threshold without permission from the Lord.
Do you think that refers to a landed lord or something more divine?
Oh, I think it refers to whoever was the... It's not the divine word. They would use a different phrase if it was like that. They're referring to whoever, ruled the keep that was here. What's strange is I don't remember hearing about dwarves living in this land. But I suppose...
The dwarves are the best at constructing things. If I was going to build a keep and I was close to Clan Grim, I would probably ask them to help.
Clan Grim was not here when this was built.
Was that a predecessor clan?
I mean, it's hard to say, but I will say this. Dwarvish runes are... it's, from a practical perspective, it's difficult to carve most languages into rock. takes 10 times longer because you have to do all these curving lines and don't even get me started with Elvish. It'll take 30 years to write a sentence into stone in Elvish. But Dwarvish runes are purpose-built to be easy to carve into rock. It could have been that they'd use them for that reason.
How long has Clan Grim been in the White Spine?
250 years.
250 years.
When the land returned to the control of the humans here, after the Erusian Empire rescinded from the area, fled from the area,
Aye.
my get a drink out. Yes. But he says after that my kinsmen, we were at that time impoverished, on the run, without a home, and my grandfather made a deal with the ruler of this duchy.
Nordfold.
And that is how we made our life here. But we have not always lived in these mountains. Clan Grim, we originally came from we at one point lived in the Wandering Mountains, and before then we lived in the old city of Droomshield. But that fell long ago. That was before my time. In any event, without getting into ancient history, because trust me, dwarves have enough history to bore you to death. I don't. Clan Grim did not carve these. I can tell you that. But other dwarves, perhaps. I don't have I don't know where all the dwarves have been across the world over the years. I didn't study that well in my history classes.
Well, if there is a warning coming to me in Dwarvish, I'd like to approach it like it's coming from a dwarf. Dwarven culture. His lord is dead. The warnings still stand.
It depends, I suppose.
Will that be enough?
Well, it depends whether the dwarves enchanted this place. Some dwarvish structures are enchanted, some aren't. It depends.
Kristen, why don't you pass detect? Oh, wait, yes, you... Never mind. Okay.
Kristen cries because you're bullying
No,
her.
it's fine. You can cast identify... Oh, wait, no. Okay, well...
I've built wizards that don't have either of those spells before, and the party has been really upset. Because they're like, why didn't you take it? And I'm like, I don't know, I felt like taking other things. And they're like, but how will we know? And I'm like, I don't know, we can just figure it out. We can throw it.
Find someone else.
Yeah.
No, it's not your responsibility.
Yeah.
But it's not. They're also within their right to complain. But you're in with your right to say.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, yeah. I don't think we had a discussion of rights, but
no, I did. I speak in these weird ways.
I did punch him in the face, though. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's like in real life, if you put together like a group and you're like, oh no, I never learned to read, and they're like, well, that would have been useful. And they're like, yeah, sure, but
I never learned to read.
But I just chose to learn other things. I'm sorry.
How did you choose not to learn to read?
Hey, Tarius. Oh no, Tarius can't.
Interesting parents.
No,
parents were like,
can't read. Tarius can't read.
Parents are like, Jim, well, you can learn to read, but you don't have to. You can also. Wait, Tarius can't read?
No.
Have we discussed that?
Yeah, we did a while ago because they taught the eldest how to read because he's going to be the lord. And with Tarius, they were like, no, you can learn how to shoot.
So they were just like, you don't need to learn.
You can learn how to shoot.
please, Papa, I like to read. No, you can't.
Tarius liked to hear stories in the local taverns, but can't read them.
That's rough. Yeah.
And he can speak. He can speak proper. He's got the Hierician. But he can't read.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. Everyone in this party then has a little better, at very least. The worst reader besides you is Sir Renault. He's probably not great at reading. But Kristen and Ragni and Alessandro can all read very well. Kristen probably the best, I would imagine. Although Alessandro's an elf, elves are just like better than everyone. So, so you.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my rope, and I'm going to, if I can reach, I'm going to attempt to tie it like the existing one, like the one we've just found. I'd like to make a new knot with my rope.
Well, while you're doing this, Ragni is saying some things very loudly and clearly into the ravine in Dwarvish.
Okay.
Yeah. After he's done, he says, I thought I would announce our presence in case there is any magic here. Perhaps it will respond well to the voice of a dwarf.
Perhaps. I'm going to take 20 feet or so. I'm going to tie it around Ragni. I'm going to take another 20 feet or so, and I'm going to tie it around Alessandro. I'm going to say,
nice.
Ragni, I want you to try the old rope.
Cool.
Alessandro, I want you to descend slowly and make sure that if the old rope is not stable, that our dwarven friend here does not die.
Yeah, so Ragni starts to go down, the heaviest first.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And
some precautions, but as long as if he can get down, then everybody can. Yeah.
No, Ragni's probably really heavy because he's also wearing chainmail, so he's or maybe even like splint or something.
Well, he's got 18. So
he's got 18, but the companion's armor is kind of like what's the word? Abstracted. Yes. So what he's wearing exactly? He's wearing whatever he's wearing in his picture. We'll say that. I don't. What is he wearing in his picture? He's kind of looks
to me like full plates. He's got shoulder pads.
It kind of looks like scale almost, but with some shoulder pads.
Well, I
don't know.
You can't really see under the beard. It might be a breastplate.
The beard is so fucking magnificent. What if it's just a shirt under the beard?
It's definitely.
What if it's just a?
It's definitely. I think it's definitely full plate because I don't think you'd wear metal gloves in any other getup than full plate.
Yeah, probably not. So, well, you might wear them in splint. Splint is something that also covers your entire body. It's just made out of different materials.
Okay.
And so yeah, he begins to climb down, and you can see him begin to descend. And I think about it, it also makes sense that that a proud son of a dwarvish clan would be armored with plate. I mean, it's they're literally steel workers. So anyway, so he's climbing down, and you can hear this rope, but you can hear it kind of tighten and taut as he's climbing down it. Clearly, whoever climbed down this before him were lighter than him, because when he climbs it, it kind of sets at this new weight and pulls a little tighter, but it doesn't seem to break. And as he continues to climb down, it's probably about 50 feet down. And so you can see that he is kind of using the handholds that you saw carved into the rock. He's putting his feet there and slowly descending. And actually, it doesn't look that difficult. Doesn't look like Ragni's like a master climber, but like he's doing it pretty well because of those sort of footholds in the rock. And he gets to the bottom after like a minute or so, and dismounts, unties himself, and says, "Yeah, well, it seemed fine to me. They look good up there."
Yeah, looks all good. Could you light the torch down there, Ragni?
Oh yeah, I'll get started on that.
Cool, and then I'll begin my climb, and I'll say to Alessandro, wait up here until everybody's down. Make sure nobody has any problems. And then I'll climb.
Yep, Alessandro stands. Okay, you climb down, and the rope creaks a little less than it did with Ragni, and you move down. You're probably able to do it a little quicker than him, because you're lighter.
I didn't realize how heavy Tarius was. Tarius is a good 130 pounds. Like I know that's not that heavy, but for his like description,
and he has gear, which is going to add weight to him.
I mean, he's carrying more gear than he weighs.
Really? That's wild.
Yeah.
That is fucking wild. Yeah. I think in real life, if you carry more than you weigh, you're probably like you're probably an anomaly of physics or something like it. Although ants do that, I guess lots of things do that. Anyway, so
the next difficult terrain we do, I will be testing out the variant encumbrance rules in the DMG. We'll give that a go.
Oh, yeah, that could be interesting. Yeah, those are the ones that kind of get worse as you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those could be interesting. I think encumbrance is much easier to do those sorts of variant rules on a virtual tabletop. I think
for sure.
at a physical tabletop, I like encumbrance to be as simple as possible. Yeah. Like probably even simpler than the way it is in 5e, because in 5e you're tracking all these pounds. I will say, I don't know if you read the way encumbrance works in Pathfinder 2, but it works on a simplified bulk system where things are either one bulk, or they're light, or they're negligible. So it's way easier to track. I mean, when you're at a physical table,
that's why
tracking actual pounds is kind of a bitch.
Well, that's the thing with 5e is that you don't really have to track actual pounds at a physical table with 5e, because the system is designed to be like, it's 15 times strength. Don't worry about tracking actual pounds. You'll never carry too much shit. Like, usually. Unless you're, unless you're carrying multiple sets of heavy armor.
I have before,
yes,
though. Like,
I've... But, realistically, it happens so little that you don't have to worry about it, because if it happens, then who gives a shit?
Yeah, I mean, so what I tend to do, almost in any game, and I got this from advice that I read once, I think it was, like, in a book somewhere, but basically almost in any of my games, especially when I'm at a physical table, because I think this is a good way to run it, I just say to the players, you need to, in your head, rationalize how it is that you're able to carry this stuff. Where is it on your body? Is it in a backpack? Is it on your shoulder? Is it in your pockets? And if you can do that, then that's fine. And I might occasionally check. And if I think that you're carrying a ridiculous amount of stuff, you have to justify to me how it's possible that you're carrying 7,000 pounds of shit. You know what I mean? That's kind of my ruling, because it makes it puts it on the players to just think, okay, does it make sense for me to have 10 different things of this size? Could I physically carry these? And I think that also makes it more interesting for the players, because then they have to go. And it's worked for the most part. I've had players who have been like, "Hey, DM, I just don't think I'd be able to carry that. I already have like 6 things, so I'm going to put it in the cart." I think that if you give players responsibility, they tend to actually do it. Unless there's certain kinds of players that won't, but you know. Yeah. Anyway,
you climb my Friday group to actually put shit they pick up in their inventory.
Well, sorry, you cut out at the beginning. What was that?
You need to get my Friday group to actually put stuff they pick up in their inventory. I had an issue with my Friday group where I literally I gave them a scroll of Major Restoration? Or is it called Greater Restoration? The scroll of Greater Restoration. Yeah, a scroll of Greater Restoration, and there is someone in the party who can cast that. They didn't put it on their sheets. They just left it there. And so I said to them, like, okay, you just didn't take the scroll of Greater Restoration. You just didn't want it. That's fine.
I had a situation in the group once where I was like, should we establish a party inventory? And everyone was like, sure. And I'm like, okay, I'll track it. And I start tracking it. And this was on a virtual tabletop, so it was just like a handout that everyone could access.
Yeah.
And I took responsibility for tracking it. And then I started realizing that one of the other players, every time we got items, would rush to add them before I did. And so I was like, okay, I guess you're tracking it, because you seem really like you want to. And then one day he just stopped and didn't tell me. And we didn't get any of it. The DM was like, why didn't no one write this down? And I was like, because he was writing it down. And that person was like, I didn't feel like it. I was just like, God damn it.
That's a big oof, yeah.
Yeah, that's a big oof. It annoyed me.
Sounds like it.
So I don't like it when someone establishes a precedent, and then it's fine if you want to back away from a precedence, but tell me if you are. I'm not a policeman. I don't care, but you just need to let me know if you are stopping doing this.
Because then you just do it. You would have no problem with doing it. Yeah,
it was my idea. Yeah. Okay, so
I climbed down, and then I instruct Renald to climb down, and then Chris.
Yeah, you climb down. Okay, so everyone gets down, no problem. You see Alessandro come down last.
Cool. I ask him to, if he can, grab my rope, if that's possible. Because I think it is, right? Yeah.
He gets your rope, yeah.
No.
Because I'm guessing you leave the rope that was already here, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're using that to climb down. We're just using my rope as a
safety and that way you can use it to climb back up.
Yeah, that's very true. I didn't think about that, but that's very true.
Yeah, I would have loved it if you were like, cut the rope, and Alessandro's like, okay.
This is our home now. We will defend the Sunless Citadel till the end of days. We will fly the flags atop it. That is why we have
this is Tarra's move keep. Shouldn't we tell someone else about that? No, we're going Maverick.
This is Tarra's Fist East.
We're the cool ones. Okay. A sandy ledge overlooks a subterranean gulf of darkness to the west. The ledge is wide but rough. Sand, rocky debris, and bones of small animals cover it. A rough-hewn stairwell zigs and zags down the side of the ledge, descending into darkness. You also notice that there is an old fire pit here that is completely out. Mm-hmm. It's completely cold. And yeah, so I will actually put you guys on a map because we're getting to map time.
Amazing.
Oh yeah. Actual map. You get to it and it's just hand drawn again, just complete shit.
What do you, this might be hand drawn, but it's definitely not complete shit.
Oh, the one you're currently on. No, I know. I more meant the ones where I'll bring you to a blank screen and I'll like draw it with like the thing on like when you're. No, I'm proud of my maps when I actually spend time to do.
I
them,
like
but...
the doodle stuff too. It makes me feel like it's one of those. You know,
it definitely reminds me of the old days.
Yeah.
When I would. Now, is it completely blank to you, or can you see things?
Completely blank. If you've got dynamic lighting, you need to tick the has sight option on my token.
Oh, I first need to put your token in.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to make sure dynamic lighting was on. Can you see things now?
I cannot, because presumably I don't
then
have the has sight. Yeah.
Tick that you have. No, it says you have vision. Oh, is there just... Oh, this should be illuminated. I bet it's that it's not... I don't fucking know. Well, that's weird. It says dynamic lighting isn't even on, but you should... What the fuck? Okay. Well,
are you sure my token says has sight?
Oh, I know what it is. It was using the old version of dynamic lighting, but your token is using the new version. I just need to make sure they're both on the same. Okay.
Ooh.
How about now?
Now I can see everything.
Oh well, just shush. you can see all the way down. Yeah, I mean this is essentially what you see though. You see a.
Is this to scale?
Yes.
Okay.
By that. What do you mean exactly? Like everything should be, I think, 5 feet. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
1 square is 5 feet. If that's what you mean.
That's what I mean. Like, is it actually like is the map the same as the fiction? Like, is this 15 feet in fiction? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, essentially. Now it's kind of a weird map, obviously, because it's isometric almost. Because you've got this layers. But yeah, it's essentially it is to scale. Especially the flat parts are to scale. The isometric parts, I'm not sure. I assume they're to scale, but the flat parts are definitely to scale. Yeah, and then let me put the rest of your party members also on. We got Sir Renault, the Benalt, we got Ragni, the Grabny. We got
like to grab me.
he tried. I accuse him of grabbing me, and we got Alessandro, the Balamandro, and of course Kristen, the Misted. Okay. And I'll give them sight too because like you're actually controlling them. So well, no, they do have sight, so it should be working.
Cool. And Ragni should probably be emitting light because of torch.
He should. I even put dark vision on Ragni. So yeah, let me put on a torch is 20 feet of bright, 20 feet of dim. So let me put that on. Okay, there you go. Now Ragni has a torch on him. Yeah. So what do you do when you get to this spot? Do you do anything on this area, or do you just start heading down?
Well, yeah, on this plateau, I'm going to move up to here. I'm going to try and survey the... I'm going to have Ragni move up with me, and I'm going to try and survey the ravine to see if I can see any outline of a structure or a... Yeah.
Cool.
All signs of life. I'm also looking for that.
Yeah, you see what looks like this strange hulking ruin that seems like it's fallen into the ravine, and that it's like parts of it have like completely fallen apart when it fell in. So you see tons of debris at the bottom of the ravine, and debris here, debris all over the place. But miraculously, the structure when it fell into the ravine didn't completely disintegrate, and most of it is still there. And so you can see towers and you know, crenellations and walls and all sorts of things, a gate, doors, but little windows. But there's tons of also towers and walls that look like they got scraped off or fell apart. And in terms of life, it's hard to make me a perception check, actually.
Okay. Would there be any disadvantage imposed from the low light?
No, okay. I don't think so.
7. Rolls are not starting well today.
It's hard to see. You don't see any movement. You see maybe the glow of fire through one of the windows. But that's pretty far off. So it's actually hard to tell if that's just light playing trick on your eyes or if it's actual fire. And for the most part, no one is you don't see any movement. You don't see any people, goblins, kobolds, ghosts, demons, vampires, goblins.
From here, can dragons. I see if that window is like has glass or if it's just an open window?
I'd say it's definitely not glass. It's an open window.
Open window? And then I'm going to spend 10 minutes, an arrow nooked, making sure no silhouette appears at that window for 10 minutes.
Sure.
And if it does, I'll ready an action that if a silhouette appears, I'll fire the shot. Wait, is it within 600 feet? It's within 600 feet, right?
Well, that's actually a good question.
Yeah, you should probably, because I can't fire 600 feet. 600 feet is quite the distance, but this might be quite a large scale.
It's approximately, it's a little over 300 feet away.
Okay.
But you can hit it. I think you have disadvantage.
Yeah, 150 is when it becomes disadvantage.
Yeah. So okay, you sit there.
But I would have advantage because I'm unseen, right? So it cancels it out.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. If a silhouette appears.
Yeah. You sit there, and we'll say 6 minutes in, you see a silhouette.
Okay.
You fire?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fire with disadvantage.
Cancel out because I'm unseen.
I guess that's how that works. Yeah.
Okay. It's cool. Yeah. 22.
Agnua. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I forgot that's what it's called. Yeah, you hit. And you're not sure if you killed it or not, but the silhouette immediately disappears.
Alessandro, stand over my shoulder and spot for me. I'll look another arrow and I'll wait another 10 minutes.
Yeah, nothing comes into the window this time.
Well, release the tension.
And in the middle of your waiting, the second 10 minutes, a vampire comes up and he's like, "Hey guys!"
Oh, hello, my cousin, Nico.
I have come to greet you. Would you like to eat the blood? I am a vampire. You are a vampire. We are both the vampires. It's super weird.
After that, I'll say to them, I really hope that was a goblin that I've just killed and not one of those adventurers we were sent. We were sent to the rescue.
I was shocked because I was like, this could be anything.
Yeah,
like, he's just blind firing.
Blind fire. We are marching with a banner. This is a war. We are taking this keep. Everybody inside is an enemy for now. Until I see otherwise.
There's a war and there ain't no Geneva Convention, so.
Nope.
Okay, so
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, windows are battlements. If you're in them, then you're a target.
This is. Can you imagine? Tarius is sent to save a beautiful princess from a tower, and he's like, "I think I see a silhouette in that fucking hole." shoots. The princess is like, I believe. Oh God!
Has my prince finally arrived to save me? Oh God! She falls from the tower.
The evil villain's like, what? Would you like a job?
Yes.
Are you free?
Yeah, I'm gonna
You're looking for employment.
I'm gonna permanently reduce my arrows because I don't think I'm ever finding that one. But maybe one day I'll find it in the keep itself.
Yeah, it might be somewhere in there. So you as by the way, but so during that, while that was happening, wait, stop, move back.
Okay. Sorry. Wait. So,
Damn you.
Wait, Alessandro would have been over my shoulder.
Okay.
And these two will be around the fire pit.
Okay, nice. While that was happening, I'm gonna need you to make me another perception check. In fact, I'm gonna need
everybody.
I'm gonna need everyone to make me a perception check.
I'm gonna say for me, because I was focusing on the window, I should probably get passive perception -5.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so that'd be
what would that be?
7.
7?
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, but I think I wouldn't have been. I would have been paying.
No,
attention
I know. I mean, I wouldn't have paid attention if I were you.
Okay, good. So. Alessandro also gets a 7.
That's rough.
That is rough. Ragni gets an 8. That's an upgrade. Ever so slightly. So Ranald gets a 15. And then the wizard Kristen gets a 17. What a varied collection of results.
Okay. With that, then, as you are sitting there getting ready to shoot at an additional enemy of the state, preparing to fire at that poor innocent woman again. She's dying. She needs help. I'll finish her off. As you're planning on doing that, or whatever the silhouette was, jumping out of the rubble that scatters across this top area are 3 giant rats that lunge at the party.
No! How dare they? How dare they?
And they are
angry.
He's an angry elf. They are definitely angry, but also they appear they have caught you, Alessandro, and Ragni off guard. So Ralton and Kristen, they have not. So yeah, feel free to roll initiative. Yeah,
I'll just roll these 2 into initiative for this first round, and then I'll roll the others in after this.
That's chill.
Probably.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Reynolds is 11.16 if it matters.
Good to know.
You do the dex tiebreaker thing. Are these rats attached to character sheets, or do you just have them in front of you?
I have both. I think I have a character sheet, and I think they're attached.
I have a macro that has a, like, it pops up with an initiative button in the top left, no matter, with what you've got selected, and then it'll just roll from its sheet.
Ah, yeah, that's a yeah. Yeah, should have done that. Let me just. Well, let's see if I do actually have this. There's a chance I do. There's a chance I don't.
Little column A, little column B.
Little column C and D.
Tarius dies if he gets pushed off the
I do. I do have them. Oh, good to know. Okay. So we're gonna have one of the Kristen actually gets to go first. What does Kristen do? Actually, no. Wait, no. Sir Renault gets to go first. Let me order this. Sir Renault, what does he do?
He shouts, "Oh no, we have been flanked by rats!" And then he's gonna try and stab at the rat that's flanked him. Missing, presumably, unless rats have really low AC.
It does miss, in fact.
Okay.
It is not a zombie, which I think that would have hit.
Maybe, yeah.
I think zombies have like the lowest AC in the game, maybe, or close to it.
Yeah, they have they have no armor and they have minus dex mod.
But they have more HP than a skeleton, so that's
they do. They have a lot.
Like
of
they're kind of
HP actually.
They're HP bags for that level. They're kind of like
20.
I've seen zombies become a real big problem because of that. Because like if you don't have some like especially if your party doesn't have a lot of DPS, zombies can be a problem. At early levels, of course. At later levels, they're pretty useless. So it is going to it doesn't hit, yeah, and it is now Kristen's turn.
Kristen's gonna move here. That's 10 feet. Action. Actually.
These rats have 30 feet attack of opportunity. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So now I can see even more. I can see a name now.
Oh, shit.
Fortress level, or fort lever. Okay, so I'm gonna have Kristen grab me and drag me at 10 feet. So that's 5 feet. We'll go there. And then Kristen's gonna Ray of Frost this one up here.
Cool.
16.
Why don't you fire away? That hits.
6.
Uh, 6. Yeah. So the rat seems to be, almost frozen solid from that, and you can see that it's going to have trouble moving very quickly on its next turn.
Yeah.
But it's not dead.
Cool. But more importantly, if Tarius gets pushed now, he only falls 5 feet. So that's.
Okay, so the rats immediately are like, push the weak one. Charge him. This one is going to attack Alessandro. And the rat, I just realized, has pack tactics.
Very nice.
Oh yeah, very, very nice.
Very, very nice.
So it is going to.
Has advantage.
Oh yeah, let me roll again.
Misses.
That's neither it hits, I would assume.
No.
Okay. The other rat also has pack tactics. Is going to attack Ragni.
Okay. Misses too.
17 to hit.
Misses.
Jesus, these rats, they're making fools of themselves. This one is going to attack Renault. No advantage.
That hits.
Oh! Okay. Renault takes... Well, actually, Renault needs to make a DC 4 Constitution saving throw, which I think he literally has to crit fail on.
Okay. What's the...
He's fine.
Is the DC the max damage the dice... The max damage it can do or something?
The DC is the average damage of a hit.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And that is all for that. So Renault.
We will roll.
Oh, nope. Yeah, let's roll in. Have the boys roll in.
I haven't set up anybody's dex tiebreaker. Oh, well. Oh, well. Renault will hold an action to attack this rat. Cool. After I finish my turn.
Okay.
Kristen will hold an action to frost this rat when I finish my turn.
Oh, also, I just realized Alessandro. What did Alessandro do? He actually should have gone first.
Oh, okay. So Kristen, by the way, will actually be holding her action on this top rat. Alessandro will hold his action to shoot this rat at the end of my turn.
Tarius.
My turn. I'm going to drop the bow on the floor. I'm gonna pull out the two.
Alessandro can hear it, and he's attuned to the noise now. He's not even looking, but you just when you drop it, you just see him go. You can see his shoulders recoil.
Gonna pull out the two short swords because I can pull out two things with one for object interaction because I've got a terrible feat. I'm going to move up to here. I'm gonna do my first attack on this rat.
Do you think it's terrible? I think that's really great.
It's not that bad. It's good though.
Being able to do that is very useful if you play by the rules. A lot of players do not, and just will be like, I pull out my shield and 3 swords and 7 guns.
Indeed. You don't even have any guns. There's a 15 hit.
Yeah, 15 does hit.
All right, 7 piercing with the first attack.
You destroy him.
Excellent. I will move up to here, and with my offhand, I will attack the other rat. 11.
That does not hit.
Okay. Then I will end my turn, triggering a few reactions. Start with Reynolds, which will deal 12 damage to the rat above him.
He kills it.
Alright, Kristen's will fizzle. Alessandro still gets his attack, though. That's not a crit, so it'd just be 8 damage to the last remaining rat.
That's a kill.
Alright.
Combat over. Mission accomplished. Okay, so you guys successfully defeat these vaunted villains. And Tarius is like, are these goblins?
I pick him up by the tail and I'm like, is this the goblin you speak of? I'll twirl it around.
They're like, no, I think that's a rat.
But it's too big to be a rat. Look at it, it's huge. It's like 4 feet.
So Reynolds says,
well, almost as big as a dwarf. Look at it.
In the cities, at least, rats can get very big.
Is rat meat dangerous?
He said that very sensually. I just read in the city when we go to restaurants and we see the rats and we go. What were you saying?
Alessandro, is rat meat dangerous to eat?
No, it does sound gross, but I don't think it's dangerous.
Gross
unless they were diseased.
Gross it is, I say, and I'll throw it off. And I'll kick the other one off as well.
Nice.
And then I'll go and grab the other one and I'll also throw it off.
Nice.
There we go. Well, that was that. Let us continue down the stairs. Take one last glance over at the window to make sure there's no silhouette in it.
Immediately, there's a silhouette. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll also go.
Gone.
I'll go pick up the bow as well.
Oh, Alessandro is just crying. Okay.
Alessandro, I could not safely store the bow and also draw the swords at the same time. Okay, it was the heat of the moment. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So, you guys are gonna head down.
Yes, and I was putting together my order until you ambushed me with a rat.
Yes, that was my plan.
Well done, well played. Are these I assume these staircases are 5 feet wide, so only one of it would have to be single file.
Yes.
All right. This will be the. I know that we're not currently, but it'll be like that order. So,
Nice. The other day I was thinking it'd be really cool because apparently there's tools you can use to build isometric maps like this. And I thought it'd be really cool to design an underwater campaign and use isometric maps for them because players could obviously be at different heights. I think that would be really fun. Because I've never actually run or played or even heard of an underwater campaign, but I think
you did spend some time underwater in dunes, but not a lot of time underwater. On Naboo.
Oh, that's right. Forgot about that. By the way, as you guys are ascending, you see the following.
Descending.
Descending. The fortress that you were seeing earlier emerges from the darkness. So as you're getting closer to it, it's getting easier to see. The subterranean citadel, though impressive, seems long forgotten if the lightless windows, cracked crenellations, and leaning towers are any indication. All is quiet, though a cold breeze blows up from below, bringing with it the scent of dust and a faint trace of rot. So you guys are going to walk all the way down?
Yeah.
Because if so, I will transport you to the next area.
Cool.
Like the beautiful baby boys you all are.
Yeah. And girl.
Yeah.
And
girl.
elf.
And what?
And elf.
Elf, yes.
Yes. Yeah. Ooh, actually,
Yes.
I've forgotten the football is on tonight. I'm very curious what the result is going to be.
Oh, the football.
Yes, the football.
Who's playing?
Manchester City and
In this first and last football that is the...
Yes, indeed. Well, we got Manchester City and Olympique Lyon are playing this evening.
Ooh.
Olympique. Ooh, and Olympique Lyon are leading. Ooh, that's very exciting. I don't want Man City to go through. Ooh, if Lyon win, there's not an English team in the Champions League semi-finals for the first time in, like, years. Last season, they had 3 of them. Also, there'd be 2 French teams. That's got to be a first in a while.
Oh, God. I'm trying to figure out the dynamic lighting real quick. There's some real fuck you shit going on. Do you think it'll work, though?
1 German team. And who's the other team? Oh, who is the other team? Oh, 2 German teams. It'd be 2 French teams and 2 German teams.
Oh.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I always forget RB Leipzig are German. Everybody in the German league seems to hate them.
What the fuck?
Everything okay, buddy?
No, everything's not okay. I'm very upset.
Okay.
I'm about to cry.
Ooh. Would you like to hear a shower thought from Reddit?
Yeah, sure.
Humans are afraid of being bitten by spiders, even though humans have more teeth. And spiders are afraid of being stepped on by humans, even though spiders have more legs.
That's weird.
That's really weird. The first reply is, spiders fear nothing. They're actively trying to evolve wings.
That's funny. It's fucking weird. I'm sure it'll be fine. Nope, that's not working. I'm gonna move you onto the map, but I'm fairly certain you're gonna not see it. You're gonna see some weird stuff because it looks fucky on my end. But maybe when I move you to the map, it won't look fucky anymore. That seems unlikely, but sure.
Wait, we have something that looks like spiders with wings. Not sure what they're called. Someone replies, I assume they're called demons. All right, let's see if I can see anything here.
Do you see anything?
Yeah, I can see stuff.
What the fuck? I can't see anything.
I'm in a room.
On my end, it's pitch black.
Pitch black for you, or pitch black when you do the preview shortcut? Like
what's the preview shortcut?
If you click on a token and click Control L, you can see from its view.
It's black when I do that. It's completely pitch black when I do that. But it's not for you?
No, I can see a room. I'm in a room. Or I might not be a room, but I'm in somewhere. I'm at the bottom of a set of stairs.
You're kind of in a place.
Yeah.
Let me reload. But I theoretically I think I'll be able to run this without being able to see anything.
That seems a bit risky though. Not risky necessarily, but it seems a bit counterintuitive.
Well, I've got the map here.
Yeah, but you don't know where I'll be.
Oh, that's a good. Oh, it's real fucky now.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Christ. Do you see anything? It looks fine to you? Okay.
Well, I can see. I'm in a place.
What?
I'm in a place.
I think I'm in a place, boss. Okay. So, but you can see things around you. Okay, good.
Yeah, I can see what looks to me to be walls,
yeah,
but might just be floor panels.
Okay, cool. So you're in a courtyard.
Nice.
The narrow stairs empty into a small courtyard, apparently the top of what was once a crenellated battlement. The buried citadel has sunk so far into the earth that the battlement is now level with the surrounding floor. That floor stretches away to the north and south, composed of a layer of treacherous, crumbled masonry, which reaches to an unknown depth. To the west looms the surviving structure of what must be the Sunless Citadel. A tower stands on the west side of the courtyard.
All right.
So yeah, there's a tower basically in front of you with a door. Basically, this is a door. What do you do?
I walk up to the door and I knock on it.
Cool.
I cast knock and I show Kristen how.
Why don't you make me a perception check as you're walking up to the door?
Okay, sure. Like, where do you want me to stop to make this check? Here or
I can't see a goddamn thing.
Oh, you're right. I'll just take 2 steps forward and make the perception check.
I'm sure it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's
21.
Who needs to be able to see anything?
Tarius can see everything.
You son of a bitch.
What? Why are you calling me that? That's very mean.
I'm jealous of your ability to see.
No, I was mean because he rolled a 21 on his perception check.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you see some important things, bud.
Oh, yeah? Like? Could you give me an example?
No.
Okay. All right.
No. You're fucked.
Fuck you.
You see the following. You basically see what appears to be kind of like an unmortared. So like a lot of these stone floors look like, they're normal stones that have been mortared together with like
mortar.
A mortar. But you see basically a few of them that have an edge that looks unmortared. Just looks like a big edge, and it looks suspicious to you because it's not just it's like a perfect edge that goes around this kind of 10 by 10 square.
Yes. I will take one of the shitty orc daggers and try to drop it on that stone that has an unmortared edge. Because I don't have a long pole.
Yeah, when you do so,
a vampire pops out.
When you do so, basically you just see these 2 trapdoors open, and you can see that there is a pit that goes down like 20 feet, and at the bottom of the pit appears to be a goblin skeleton.
Ooh.
With that looks partially decayed, like the meat has been torn from his bones, and you also see a live giant rat that when the top opens, just and starts jumping up, but can't reach you.
Put it down, Alessandro. I said.
Alessandro shoots. Roll an attack.
Okay.
He hits.
9 piercing.
He scores.
Is there? You said there was 2 pits. Are there two rats?
Just no. It's so there's two
entrances to the
doors,
same pit.
One big pit, and you can see that there is a little catwalk that leads between the 2 trapdoors that you can use to get to the door.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that part, you touch it with your rock, or I guess another rock, and it seems to hold.
I lost that dagger, I assume. Yeah.
Oh, you used a dagger, you said?
Yeah.
Then yeah. It's down there. You can see it.
So there's no spikes at the bottom. It was the rat, right?
There are no spikes. It's just a big pit with a rat and a dead body. But it's big enough that someone would take fall damage.
Yeah, but we have a rope.
Oh no, I'm just explaining why it would be bad if someone fell down suddenly.
Well, I mean, 20 feet has a chance of knocking Tarius out without the rat, and then
and then the rat would just eat you.
Yeah. I will look at Alessandro pleadingly and start unraveling my rope and handing it to him.
He goes, "You want the dagger?"
It's not necessary, but if you would.
He grabs the rope and starts to climb down.
I feed it to him as he climbs.
Yep, he rappels down. It takes a couple minutes. He starts looking down there. He
also,
comes
take
back.
a look to see if the goblin had anything.
I know. He comes back with your dagger, and he also shows a scimitar and a shield that the goblin had, 23 silver pieces, and 4 gold pieces that the goblin had in a belt pouch.
Oh wait, so how much money was that? Did you say?
23 silver pieces and 4 gold pieces.
That's a lot of money actually for a goblin. 23 silver and 4 gold. All right, let me write that down real quick.
It's a big belt pouch.
Yeah. 23 silver pieces, 4 gold pieces. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep that for now. I'm just gonna put that in my inventory, unless anybody protests.
Yeah. Okay. Fucking Ragni says, "You bastard!" He pushes you into the pit.
Does anybody protest?
No.
Okay.
No. They assume that you're either collecting it for the fist or you're going to divide it amongst them evenly.
Yeah.
They don't. They trust you.
Yeah. I mean, I'll certainly give them something later. Maybe it will be this. We will see. I've been fighting quite a bit. Yeah.
Oh God, I'm really worried I'm not gonna be able to see anything. Okay. So you open the door?
I'm still thinking about the shield and the scimitar. Actually, if I don't have a shield, I should probably take a shield because I'm proficient in shields. So I guess I'm gonna take the shield. I don't hear any music anymore, by the way.
Oh, strange.
Oh shit! I'm over carrying capacity. I forgot about that. Oh, we brought a cart with us, right?
It never happens.
Yeah, but Tarius has 10 strength. Okay, but we brought a cart with us, right? Remember that was last.
Yep, it's up.
It's out.
Yeah,
it's
but
outside.
you wouldn't have been able to get it past the rope, obviously.
No, yeah. But it's up on the road.
I mean, you could have, but that definitely would have been the thing we would have run through. We're going to. Okay, I want you to slowly lower it down. It just crushes all of you.
But there is a cart waiting for us up on the road.
Yes, I mean,
yeah.
I guess you could leave things in the pit. Hope no one fucks with it.
Would you have allowed me to leave my bedroll on the cart? Can I?
Yeah, you could leave anything you wanted to on the cart. Though.
Oh, okay. Anything I wanted to. I'm gonna leave the Russians on the cart as well then.
Whoa, this is a hell of a deal.
What a twist! Ooh, I like that opening riff. Ooh, this is good music.
This is from, oh God, I can't think of the name. I'll think of it.
Okay.
It's from a game. Pathologic 2. It's from Pathologic 2.
I've never heard of that game. What's that about?
Oh, you would like it.
Yeah.
Pathologic. It's a weird game made by Russians.
Ooh.
But it's an RPG, first person. You're in a town. You play one of 3 characters. It's your job to solve a disease that's spreading in town. Ooh. And it's super weird and spooky and kind of, yeah. I think you would like it.
That sounds.
It's really hard though, and that's why I've never picked it up because I've heard it's really hard.
Yeah. Can you talk to me about how this scimitar looks? Because it basically fits the profile for Tarius. He could use it like he does his short swords, but I'm just curious what it looks like to see if he'd prefer it.
It looks like it is old. It is made out of it's made out of bronze. And it looks like it's not of goblin make, and that it's perhaps, but that it has been kept decently in good condition. You think you would need to clean it and oil it because the goblins have not kept it in perfect condition, but it is not overly dinged up or damaged, and you think you could use it to fight with pretty effectively.
And it's quite a small blade, presumably, if it was used with the goblin.
It's about the size of a normal scimitar, actually. You don't think it was built for a goblin.
That's fair. Yeah. Okay. Well then, Tarius discards it into the pit unless anybody else wants it.
Okay, you throw it into the pit.
Yep. And then we carry on. I'll walk up now.
I fell into the pit.
I will.
Have you ever heard that?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Anyway, it's a Parks and reference. So you cross the
catwalk, yeah, and I say to Alessandro to keep your wits about you and make sure you're keeping your eyes open for Traps. And I'll knock on the door, casting knock, and showing Kristen how it's done.
Nice. Kristen's like, holy shit.
Honestly, if Tarius gets past level 8, he might consider multi-classing wizard because, like, just to fuck with Kristen.
Just to become better than her.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, detect magic! And she's like, fuck you, I'm leaving.
She burns me to death with Scorching Ray.
Yeah, it just kills you.
I cast
By
shield.
then she has like the 3rd level spell that's stronger.
Yeah.
Kills you with that.
Like fireball.
Fireball. Okay. So you open it up and the door opens. It is not locked.
I don't.
Well, you knock.
Well, cool. Good. Now that I know it's not locked.
Yeah, actually, you knock it and it kind of goes.
Ooh. Okay. I usher Ragni in with his torch ahead of me.
Nice. Push him in. Ragni opens the door.
I've put Ragni in the room. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay.
It's.
I can see some bodies.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I feared.
Yeah.
I can't see a fucking thing.
No.
Can you see things?
Yes. Would you like to go and look at the stream? Will that be helpful?
Oh, I'll look at the stream. That's fucking genius. This is so weird.
A little delayed, but it should still help.
I'm gonna have to look up why the dynamic lighting is being weird for me, but not for you. Maybe
so
it has
strange.
a plugin I have installed or something.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Ragni enters the room. You're right behind him, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
Okay. You see the following. The circular area is cobbled with cracked granite, upon which sprawl the bodies of 4 goblins, apparently slain in combat. One corpse stands with its back against the western wall, the spear that killed it still skewering it and holding it upright. 3 wooden doors lead from this area. A hollow tower of loose masonry reaches 30 feet into the air, but the intervening floors and stairs are gone, except for a couple of crumbled ledges.
Oh wait, can you read that last part for me a second? Sorry.
A hollow tower of loose masonry reaches 30 feet into the air, but the intervening floors and stairs are gone, except for a couple of crumbling ledges.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. I guess I will first of all, I will move Ragni into the room slightly so that me and Alessandro can go in behind. But before we progress any further, I'll have me and Alessandro survey the room to see if we can see if there's anything, any traps or anything.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Roll. Both of them roll perception checks. Both you and him roll perception checks.
Alessandro rolled an 18. I rolled a 16.
I
have Alessandro check the floors, I think, and I'll check the walls or the ceilings to see if they're not the ceilings, but the tower to see if there's anything hung or strung above us.
You guys don't see anything, anything particularly gruesome, or you don't see any traps. You don't see any weird stuff. You do see that the 4 goblins, they've been dead for quite a while. Rats have gnawed at them. At least they look like gnaw marks from little mouths. And you get the feeling, as you're looking over them, that they've already been picked at, like looted. They
Gotcha.
don't seem to have anything on them. For their weapons and armor has been taken from them. The only thing left is the spear pinning the goblin to the wall.
All right. I'm going to take a brief glance. While I was looking upwards for traps anyway, is there anything that catches my eyes on the dilapidated above floors? A drawer or a chest or...
No, you can't see anything like that. You're not even sure if there's structures, like rooms up there. Like it could just be hollow
Yeah.
stone areas. You don't see anything like a chest or anything like that. No.
Okay. All right. In that case.
And like I said, there are 3 doors. The one you came from, and then the 2. I don't know if you can see them, but there's
doors.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then there's one here and one here.
So, assuming that there's a north and south door, assuming that it's about.
That's essentially how it works. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is exactly.
Assuming
this is south. That's north.
The up is north, right?
It is. Yes.
Then, which direction, north or south, from here would the window that I shot through be?
Oh, to the north.
Okay. Then I will have us prepare ourselves in the same order outside the north door. I'll tell Ragni to open it.
Open the gate. Okay. Ragni gets up to the door, and it is
Can I move Ragni into
nothing.
the corridor?
Let me check to make sure it's not locked.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Nope, he can open it.
Oh, and you've just revealed it to me.
Yeah.
So you can see some things.
I can't see shit.
But you're able to open the door somehow.
Oh, I can see Oh, okay, yeah. I should be more specific. Sorry.
Okay.
I am being exaggerative when I say I can't see shit. I can see any room that you're not in.
But when I'm in the room, it blacks out.
When you're in the room, and this is going to sound super weird, I essentially see a mirror that allows me to see other parts of the map as if there's an underlay, but I can't see where you are. And it's exactly congruent with your vision. So anything your character can see, I can't see. It's weird. But I can see the areas you can't see.
That is very weird. Okay. Again, I'm going to have Ragni move one step into the corridor so me and Alessandro can flood into those first 2 squares.
Yeah, just flood in. Just
those first 2 squares. Nothing crazy there.
Cool.
And then I'm going to have me and Alessandro inspect the room. Alessandro will check the floors. I will check above the doors.
Cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Feel free to roll some perception checks.
Okay.
Actually, I'll let you choose between perception and investigation. It's up to you.
I think we'll roll. If you're letting me choose, I'll go with perception. I'm pretty sure we're both better at that. I rolled a 21, and I'm checking above the doors and kind of generally up the walls and the ceilings. And Alessandro rolled a 17, and he's checking the floors.
Cool. Yeah, you don't see anything particularly strange here. It looks like a pretty standard hallway. You see what appear to be looks like 4 doors, or
4 including the one we've come in. Yeah.
4 the one you've come from, I believe. Yeah. And hopefully you can see them as
well. I can indeed. One north, one south, one west.
So which do you go to any of them?
Yes. Just a quick thing for you. Could you give me a heads up when we've spent 3 hours in the ravine? I know I didn't think we'll be anywhere near that right now. But
so I think you've probably spent about 20 minutes in the ravine. The way I do it generally, so that you know my thing, is I don't like penny pinching time because it's a little, just counting out everything. So what I generally do is with every like big thing that happens, so like fighting the rats, dealing with the pit trap, that's usually about 10 minutes. I consider that to be about 10 minutes.
It's
so you've been
more like 30 or 40 days since I was spending like 10 to 16 minutes looking at the window.
Oh, I forgot about the window. Yeah. I totally forgot about the window. Yeah. So you've been like 35, 40 minutes. Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool. 3. Yeah. So, yes, we're going to be approaching. Is it still north from here, from my window? I assume so.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll have Ragni approach that north.
Actually, the compass changes when you walk in. It just spins. And you're like, what the fuck?
I just mean like it could be more northwest.
This door you're referring to?
I can't see if you're pinging anything, but it's the north door.
This one? You can't see that?
No, can't see anything.
Damn it. What about?
Oh, yeah, I saw that ping. Your ping is black.
I was thinking on the dynamic lighting layer then.
You're also your ping is your color is black for your ping, which probably doesn't help. I don't think you can change that. I think it automatically assigns it to you when you join or something.
It does. It does. It thinks I'm the Lord of Shadows.
What's my
So
thing?
you
Oh, it's a bright.
yours
a
is
bright cyan,
like lime green, yeah.
lime
Or
green.
yeah. Yes, it could be. It could be kind of an awkward. I'm terrible with greens. I'm red green colorblind specifically, so it's greens are a complete shit show for me. But it looks bright green. So you're gonna have the old Ragni open the door, creak inside, see what kills him.
Yeah, one step forward so me and Alessandro can flood behind and check the room. Yep.
Blood, do it!
It's a breach and clear. It's a breach and clear operation.
Scream! Okay, so he opens the door. It is unlocked.
Can I put him in the room? Oh, you've revealed it. I don't need to ask you that. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, he's going to walk 2 steps in, and then we're going to flood behind.
Yep.
And inspect. Oh, interesting. I don't have sight on every token. Kristen and Renault, I don't have sight of. Don't know if that's a...
Oh! Well, I don't know if that's a problem for me or a solution. Let's...
yeah, let's find out.
Well, you should have sight on them. Oh, you don't have sight on them because neither of them have dark vision, and the only torch is on Ragni. It's dark as shit in the hallway.
Excellent.
I'll say actually Sir Renault would then, since he's in the back, he would get out a torch and light it as well.
Sure. So he's got a banner in one hand and a torch in the other.
he's holding the torch with the banner, and he has to make sure it doesn't burn the banner.
Oh no, that would be really bad. Then he would be a disgraced knight from 2 organizations.
There we go. See? Yep. Now you can see.
I can't.
You can?
No, I can't.
I can see. Well, I wouldn't think too much about that. It's just, I'm not sure what's going on.
It's okay.
Maybe they did a weird update to dynamic lighting recently.
Unless you're planning on ambushing me, we should be fine.
I'm sure it'll be fine. So, yeah, this ruined chamber stands empty of all but a litter of rocky debris.
Okay, I'm going to start with the perception checks.
Cool.
I am once again checking the...
You see a vampire! No, it's fine.
I'm once again checking this... Okay, the ceilings and the walls, and Alessandro checks the floor.
Yep.
Is there any windows in this room?
Nope. Okay. It looks like... You've been in castles before. It looks like it was probably at one point used as a kind of like... You think it might have been used as a servant's room. So in any way, like a place where servants would have like prepared food or done work in. Basically like a utility room of some sort. But it's completely empty now. And there's like a lot of just crap on the floor.
Okay.
By debris, I mean little pieces of rock, old pieces of linen, metal shavings, all sorts of weird, just actual trash.
Me and Alessandro are convinced there's nothing of value or use in this room.
Yeah.
Okay. Then
nothing but dirt and trash.
I'll set Ragni up for a breach and clear on the west door.
Go!
Move!
So. I want a breach charge on this right now.
Also, to be clear, in these circumstances, I have my my short swords drawn.
Interesting. I like it.
Mainly because I gain 1 AC when I do.
The way to do it.
The way to do it. Also, if I had chosen defensive fighting style instead of archery, I'd have 19 AC.
You fool.
Well, the archeries come in handy when I'm hunting.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's a kobold, I think. A very low res kobold.
So fucking low res.
We are playing a 2nd edition module, aren't we?
I don't know why. If it is low res, that's weird. It's not low res for me. What's going on?
It's definitely low res.
I mean, like, I love it.
It might be hard to see on the stream, maybe. I don't know.
No, I can see it. That's funny looking. It does look super low res. Crudely executed symbols and glyphs, scribed in bright green dye, decorate this large and irregularly shaped crumbling chamber. A large pit in the center shows evidence of a recent fire. A metallic cage in the middle of the southern wall contains a gaping hole and stands empty. A small wooden bench draped with green cloth is next to the cage, and several small objects rest on it. A bedroll lies near the wooden bench, and the sounds of whimpering comes from inside it.
Do I see this creature? Or yeah, do we see?
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that yeah, there's some creature coming over from it.
Okay, do I see a rough description? Do I see that it looks roughly draconic?
Yeah, lizardish.
Lizard. I'll nudge Kristen and say, "You can talk to things like that, right, Kristen? Tell it we're here to get rid of the goblin. See if it wants to help."
Or if Kristen has draconic.
Yeah, she has draconic.
Okay, cool. You said what to tell her?
That we're here to get rid of the goblins and that we're willing to strike an alliance.
Okay, cool. Hey, we're here to put it there, boy. So yeah, Kristen walks up to him and immediately just and Kristen speaks slowly and calmly in a strange hissing tongue that you do not fully understand. Yeah, he gets up and begins to say some things to her, and he looks afraid, and he is talking. He seems to be weepy. He
wasn't the one whimpering, right?
He is the one whimpering.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And he seems to have obvious scars on his body. And she turns to you, and Kristen says, "He doesn't seem to be aggressive at all. I'm not exactly sure. He's talking about his poor Calcrix. I think it was Calcrix, and he says in common, you can hear,
Okay.
The clan's dragon! We lost it!
Is this Lower Rissian common?
Yes. Okay. He speaks High Origin. Thy clan dragon has been lost. No, he says,
how recently, little thing?
Oh, it was very recently. It was earlier today.
What?
The wretched goblins stole him. Calcrix.
Goblins stealing a dragon? I look to Alessandro.
Alessandro just shakes his head, and he says, Calcrix is a good boy, a good little boy. He doesn't deserve this.
I'm gonna flood into the room. We're gonna have everyone flood into the room.
Cool.
Like this.
He says, who are all of you? You're not goblins, I don't think. Too big.
I usher Renault forward with the banners. He taps it on the ground.
He looks at the banners and shakes his head. He doesn't seem to recognize what they are.
Well, you will come to recognize them in time. Are there more of you?
Yes, I have a whole clan. My name is Meepo.
Meepo. I am Tarius.
Oh, good to meet you, Tarius.
Now, if we can get your dragon back from the goblins, what will that mean for you?
Ooh, that would be very good. You mean you would return my dragon? You would return Calcrix?
Maybe, if you would not go around pillaging the countryside after you've been returned it.
No, we do not pillage. We do not pillage. We only live in peace.
Can I roll insight?
Sure.
2.
You believe him.
Yeah. Well, these seem like peaceful creatures. What can they do anyway with their tiny little arms? So
Thousands of them swarm on you, stabbing.
Well, do you believe this creature, everybody?
Gonna spam some insight.
No, I just am curious what their thoughts are. Do they have any racial prejudice
so I'll
against
say,
kobolds?
Kristen says, well, he seems particularly sad. He doesn't seem to be. She whispers, he doesn't seem to really be, I don't know, smart enough to lie? I don't know. And Sir Renault says, well, I am not very good at reading people, but I say give people a first chance, and if they betray you, then you have the right to kill them. And
what if we kept this dragon to make sure the kobolds stayed in check?
no, do not keep count, Griggs. That would make you no better than the goblins.
But we would look after him. We would make sure he is well fed and.
He is my baby.
You can maybe arrange for visitation.
No, take me with you.
What if the kobolds agreed to join the fist?
How do you join a hand or a body part? What is it, a giant fist?
You would pledge your loyalty to our captain. You would fight in our armies. You would walk on our patrols.
A kobold battalion.
What do you think, little... What was his name again? I need to write it down.
Meepo. M-E-E-P-O.
He's a Dota hero. Meepo. Kobold with what I'm gonna hope is not a baby dragon that he has. What I'm gonna really hope isn't like a whelpling. Yeah, so what does Meepo think of joining the fist?
Meepo says, I don't know much about that. Perhaps you should speak to our leader, Yusdrael.
Okay, how do you spell that one?
Y-U-S-D-R-A-Y-L.
Y-U-S-D-R-E-L. Wait, what's it again?
R-A-Y-L.
Y-L. Where is he?
I can take you to meet him, as long as you continue to be nice like you are now.
I don't like being led places by people I don't quite trust yet. Directions would be better.
He says, I could give you directions, but without me with you, they would attack.
That is a good point. We could take you hostage instead.
Well, then they will certainly attack.
Then they will what, sir?
And they will certainly attack.
Oh, so they don't care that much about you.
I mean, without the dragon, what use am I?
Oh, brother. Where are the goblins?
They are... The goblins, they live on the northern side of the keep. You know, where that light was. No, no, they live on the northern side of the keep, and we live in the middle. There are some goblins I have seen elsewhere, but they reside in the northern part.
What lives
There
on
are
the
a few
south side
doors
of
you
the
can
keep?
use to get to them. What?
What lives on the south side of the keep?
Nothing lives on the south side. Yusdrael has the key. I do not know what is there. She has never told me.
Okay, you can lead us to your leader, but I will tie your hands.
What? Why?
Because they have claws on them.
I have been nothing but nice to you.
That is true. So has many a large cat or animal, but if it has claws, I will not trust it.
You are very mean to cats. Do you tie their hands up?
When I need to do something they won't like, yes. Like, I don't know, feed them a medicine, or brush them.
You trying to feed me something? Why are you bathing me?
Or if, for example, the cat was taking me to meet its pack, I would probably want it tied up slightly.
I just feel like that would make the cat pack nervous.
Well, considering that I am very nervous, that might be a good thing for everyone to be on a state of nerve.
Okay, so Meepo is he looks fairly helpless. If you force the issue, he will accept being tied up.
Okay, I will tie him up.
Cool.
I will push him ahead of the group until ask him where to go. Are you hungry, people?
No.
Okay.
Why?
I don't know. You seem very pathetic at the moment.
They feed me.
Okay. Are you often bathed?
What?
Are you often bathed?
Oh, occasionally. It has been 6 months.
I get out the elf soap and I start rubbing it on him.
Dry?
Yeah, no, I pour a little bit of the water skin on it.
So you're bathing him as he's walking?
Yeah.
This is fucking weird.
Look, I want to be nice to him. So I'm like, how does this feel, little man?
I suppose it's
You got
nice.
to get really into the scales. Start like massaging the soap into the scales.
What the fuck? Okay.
Be careful, though.
So-
You will smell very bad to that one over there. Point to Alessandro.
Nice.
I never get to pull the prank because I don't bathe enough.
So Meepo is going to start walking over here, leading you this way.
Okay. How does he react to the bathing?
I mean, he seems like he likes it, but he also is very. He's a little bit, he's not sure what to think.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Oh, I've lost all vision. Oh no, it's back. We're all good.
A stranger is bathing him against his will, so it's definitely a.
Oh well, I asked his consent. Did he agree?
Well, that's true. I should say, without prompting, a stranger is bathing him. So he begins to lead you through here, and he stops for a moment and says something in Draconic out loud, pretty loudly.
Okay, I look at Kristen.
Draconic says, or Kristen says,
Kristen is now Draconic.
Kristen says, he just said tickle corn.
Okay,
and Meepo says, it is to let them know that you are friends.
I'm gonna have my short sword low, just, so I'm trying for Meepo not to see it, but it's ready in case something goes wrong.
Sure.
Yeah.
Meepo leads you through here.
I'll make sure he never gets that far ahead. Could you slow down a bit, friend?
I can't see where you are. I'm just putting in places.
Meepo, no, wait. I'm still chasing after you from now on.
He runs.
Does he?
No.
Can you move him back a little bit? Because I've seen a new kobold, and I guess I'd like to evaluate that new kobold before you. Now he's in Ragni. There you go, perfect. No, you moved Ragni. Stop moving Ragni.
Now Ragni's in him.
No, Ragni's now ahead. No, there is Meepo's now. There we go. Now move Ragni. There you go. So this baby boy, ahead of us. Does he say anything?
He looks at Meepo, and Meepo has said tickle corn, and he just looks He's definitely looking at you guys with suspicion, but he doesn't do anything when he sees you.
Okay, I'm gonna lower the dagger so it's not right against Meeple's back as we move, and I'm gonna be unable to conceal that as we move through. I'll still have them out, but it won't be right against his back.
Meepo's gonna keep leading you.
All right, I see more kobolds. I'm gonna get concerned. I'm gonna look at Alessandro and be like, "Is this a good idea?"
Alessandro says, I don't know. I think if we were going to not work with the kobolds, we should have killed him immediately.
So you're saying there's no turning back now, is what you're saying?
No, there's turning back. I just think it's a bad time to turn back.
Will there be a better time in the future, or is it just going to constantly get worse the longer we walk down this hallway?
I mean, who's to say?
What would be your advice, good counsel? If we're going to do it, is it now?
Do you want to turn back?
I mean, do you think we should? What is your advice, friends? I know nothing of kobolds. I know nothing of goblins.
I don't know. Creatures like that are often tricksy. This could be a trap, but they might also fear. I mean, we saw that clearly the kobolds are fighting the goblins. I mean, at least there's dead goblins. I assume that they're fighting them. Maybe they want to work with us. I don't know.
Okay, at this point, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna put one of my short swords away so I have a free hand, and I'm gonna make sure I have a hand on Meepo's shoulder the entire time.
Yeah. Meepo keeps leading you.
And a firm grip. Okay.
Meepo looks very clean.
Yeah, shining. And smells like an elf.
Absolutely shining. So Meepo stops. Oh.
Yep.
Yeah. Meepo stops there. And you see thousands of children screaming. I'm just kidding. That would be weird.
That would be
weird. What the fuck? You see the following. A short throne stands near the west wall, constructed of fallen bits of masonry stacked against an old altar. Oh, and in addition to that, before that, you would have seen a double row of relief-carved marble columns march the length of this long, large hall. So the hall you've been walking in. The worn carvings depict entwining dragons. And then when you get further in, you see the throne. On the top of the altar sits a variety of small items. The portion of the altar that serves as the throne's back features a carving of a rearing dragon. A metallic key is held firmly in the dragon's open jaws. You see a sort of feminine kobold, although, to be fair, looks very similar to the masculine kobolds, sitting in the chair. She and she says, "Who are you? Why has Meepo brought you here?" And she speaks. Meepo is kind of speaking like broken common, but she can speak pretty well.
Okay. I'm going to usher Reynald forward to stand next to us with the banners. Tapping on the stone again. I'm going to say, I am Tarius of House Gormland. I am the lieutenant of Tarra's Fist and the second born of Tarius II, which is apparently my father. I forgot he shared my name. Oh yes, of course, because I am of course Tarius Jr. So where else would the junior have come from? I am the second.
Your parents didn't know like what junior meant. They just thought like, oh, every child's junior.
I am the second born of Tarius II, and I am the lieutenant of Tarra's Fist. We have come here searching for the missing young baron of Moordrake. And we are also looking to wage a war on the goblins in this place. This is Meepo. We found him. I'm gonna bring him closer to me. He says you are missing a dragon. I do not know if we can help with that, but we might be able to.
She nods and says, "Yes, the goblins stole our dragon. If you return Calcrix to us, I shall grant you a reward."
What kind of reward?
She seems to think on it for a moment and says, "I suppose I would be willing to offer you one of my trinkets. Actually, I'll tell you what. If you were able to bring back the dragon, I would offer you any 2 of the items on my altar. Or the key here." And she points up to the key in the dragon's mouth.
What are you doing here?
My clan has come here to survive. The goblins have been a constant threat to our survival.
How long have
We
you
have
been
tried
here?
to... Oh, we have been here for 2 years now.
I offered you an alternative path, if survival is what you seek.
What is that?
I point to the Tarra's fist banner and say, you could join our organization, our fist.
I recognize the other banner. And she points to the barony banner. I know that is the one that the humans use to govern this land with. But you, that one there, I like it. Much easier to tell what it stands for. Strength.
Indeed it does.
You said you're a member of Tarra's Fist.
Aye.
What is this? A country?
Not quite.
A city?
A powerful...
A horde?
Ooh.
A cave?
We are a mercenary company. We hold a significant amount of influence in a city. City? Town? Is it a town or a city? Moordrake.
It is a... It's a town,
okay.
But it's close to a city.
Cool.
It's probably got a population like 20,000, something like that.
20,000?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a lot, I think.
Well, you think a city would probably have, well, maybe 15,000, and I think a city would probably have a population of about 30 to 40.
Okay. So, I say, yes, we hold a great deal of sway in the town, but we are not quite the governors of that town. We are like an army. You can look at it that way.
You work for the town? They pay you?
From time to time, we work for a lot of people and they pay us.
Ah, a business.
Yes.
Very good. Well, we do not have an enormous amount of wealth. I'm afraid I cannot pay you to defend us, if that is what you are offering.
I offer you to join the organization, not become one of its clients.
Join your organization?
That's correct.
Intriguing. Do you have many kobolds in your army?
None as of yet, but we have been sent here to keep the local towns safe, and I can think of no better way than to assure no trouble from your kobolds than to invite them into our fold. Our price would be very simple. We offer none of the wealth, just that in your assimilation into our group. The Citadel, once it is won from the goblins, becomes a part of our property, as you are now a part of our organization.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is a different offer than I thought.
Wait, just to be
She
clear,
says,
what do you think I'm offering? Just to make sure I haven't fucked up.
I thought you were gonna collect them all and take them back to Moordrake.
We probably are, but some of them can stay, I guess, if they're really attached to this place.
She says.
But it sounds like they just want to survive, so anyway, it's fine.
She says, "Do you know why we lurk in this mouldering ruin?"
No.
It is because the goblins, while dangerous, do not scare me nearly as much as humans. They have hunted us our whole lives. I do not think we would be welcomed amongst your people simply because you say we are playing nice.
I look over to Alessandro. Does kobold meat taste nice?
Do you say this loudly?
Yeah, I say. Yeah. I just ask.
She looks perturbed by this, and Alessandro says, I don't know.
And I have never seen somebody wearing a kobold scale dress or armor, correct?
No.
I look back at her. I see no reason why you would be hunted if you flew under the banner of Tarra's fist. You might die on a battlefield, but that would be a glorious death.
I have never heard of humans eating kobolds or goblins or anything like that. Whether they kill us or not, I've never heard of them eating us or wearing our skins.
Then why are you hunted?
That is because they fear us.
Then give them something to be proud of, not to fear.
We have never given them anything to fear. They are ignorant and foolish.
Then enlighten them.
Roll a persuasion check.
I'm assuming she's not from a feudal culture.
No, DC 17.
21.
She says, if you return the dragon, and you promise that this Moordrake, the people there, will not attack us or harbor ill will against us, then we may have an agreement.
I cannot speak to the will of others, but I can promise you the protection of every other member of the Fist.
I thought you ran the town.
In a manner of speaking. Trust me, that insignia will go a long way, but I cannot control minds, at least not in the course of a couple of days. That will be your job, over years.
She says, if you can, as I said, bring Calcrix back, then that will have proved to us that you are as strong as you say you are.
And about this Caltrix, is it actually a dragon?
Yes. A beautiful baby dragon. Sacred to our clan. It took us a long time to get one.
And this Caltrix, will they attack me?
Oh. Perhaps. Let me check. It's hard to say.
It's hard to say, you know?
It's very nice. It's never attacked anyone.
Also, are their scales red? Like the pictures?
Yes,
Okay.
most of them. Although they have some, you see some different ones, some green, some white, but most are red.
Are the two named kobolds red? Meepo and
yeah. I'm pretty sure if you see on their pictures that they're red, I think they are.
Okay.
Because they have unique pictures. So yeah. No, those ones are definitely red. Why do you want to know if they're red?
Just curious, honestly.
Oh, okay.
I know they're probably. I know the color of the kobolds probably isn't related to the color of the dragon, but yeah. Just if they were all white, then I would start thinking the dragon's probably white too. But if they're all red, then it could be. Oh, if they got multicolors and stuff, they could be.
Yeah.
And if they're all red, then they're probably just...
She says, I would guess that she is very angry. Dragons are very, especially at such a young age, temperamental. And I would imagine she would attack you. So your job would be to, well, knock her out and bring her back alive so that we can turn her to a cage.
Is there any way we could calm her down? Maybe I take Meepo with me.
Oh, yes, of course. Take Meepo.
Would there be a chance of calming her down with Meepo?
Meepo says, of course! She loves me! And
check.
Yuzdrael says, I think that it might work. If it doesn't, you can use Meepo as a distraction. Meepo hears that and he is trying to figure out what it means, but he thinks it just means I'm gonna keep her under control. Okay. He doesn't understand that what she just meant was what she meant.
Okay, I'm going to level with you. I am a commander. I do not know if I can fight a dragon. Do you have anything on that altar of yours that might make this possible? Obviously, we can provide you manpower, skill set, knowledge set, and a well-balanced team. Obviously, if you had an item that could just fix it, you would have done it already. But perhaps in combination with our skills, you can help us.
The problem is not the dragon so much. I think we could get it if it was... we got it in the first place. It is more the goblins that guard the dragon. They took it. That I worry about. Although the dragon is rather temperamental.
I wonder how the goblins are keeping the dragon from killing them.
Oh, I don't know. Meepo says that he saw a large hulking bugbear pick it up with both hands. Presumably, that kind of confirms that this is a pretty small dragon.
Yeah,
if a bugbear could pick it up.
Look, if it can breathe, it can kill Tarius. That's all I'm saying.
If it can breathe, it can breed. No, just...
whoa!
Yeah, so... Whoa, what the fuck?
Jeez.
Whoa!
Yikes!
Yikers, that got weird. Let me look and see if there is anything that can help you.
Maybe a ring of whatever the dragon breathes resistance. That would be nice.
Oh, that would be very convenient.
Very convenient, yes.
She says, well, there are perhaps two things that could help you on your quest. One is not so much something I particularly know if it will help you, but it could. The other most certainly would. She says, I have elixirs of health. They might help keep some of you alive in your quest against the goblins and to get back the dragon.
What do those do?
In terms... Oh, find out.
I know I have potions of health, but I do not know what elixirs of health do.
They're super cool.
Don't they just remove disease? If I remember correctly.
It cures any diseases afflicting you, and it removes the blind, deafened, paralyzed, and poisoned conditions.
Cool.
So, but she says, in terms of specifically helping against the dragon, I'm not sure, but this, and she points to the key in the statue's mouth above her. This we were able to take from the goblins when we first came here. It leads to the southern wing of the fortress. Treasures that my group has not yet attempted to take. If you have the key, I would let you take anything in the southern corridor. I would have no problem with that. And you might find things there that could help you deal with the dragon properly.
Why have you chosen not to investigate the southern wing yet?
Let me read about that.
Yes.
There's got to be a reason.
Yes, you'd assume so.
I just don't like it there.
Probably something incredibly dangerous, I would assume.
It's really gross there. I don't like it. It's
haunted by a vampire.
There's several vampires there. That is correct.
Yes. Several vampires, oh god. Oh god. Oh boy. Oh no.
Well, we'll be honest.
Maybe they just can't be bothered. Maybe there isn't any vampires in there.
I have heard that a creature lies within. And seeing as our war up until now against the goblins has been not going too poorly, I didn't decide to risk going inside. But seeing as you are all, well, I would assume capable, you could attempt to open it and find out what's within. The creature, I have heard, was some sort of priest.
Some sort of priest?
That's what the goblins said when I interrogated them.
Did you get a species?
They said it was big, not a goblin. They didn't know what it was.
Was one of the adventurers we were sent after a cleric? I think so. Right?
One of them was a paladin?
One of them was a paladin, yeah. One of them was a wizard. There was a fighter.
Wizard, fighter, paladin, and then a ranger.
Most people probably...
And that was a month ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What were you going to say? Most people what?
I don't think most people would describe a paladin as like a priest if they saw them, right?
Not unless they wore like clerical vestments, which isn't like out of the question for certain paladins, but probably you would be more likely to say they're like a knight or a soldier.
I'll ask how long...
You might even say like holy warrior, but...
How long ago did you spot this... did the goblins spot this priest?
Oh, they said it was there when they first came here many years ago.
What did it do to them?
Oh, it ran them out. They never wanted to go inside.
Okay, well, would you be willing to let us take the key and go have a look? If we promise to go and after your dragon afterwards.
She nods.
Okay, we can give it a look. Carefully, slowly, non-committally.
I'm sure you will use all due discretion.
Of course, yes.
You are strong, are you not?
No. Well, some of us are. I am not. I am tactics. Point to my head. I am the lieutenant. And this is a treasurer.
How is someone who is not the strongest able to rise up in your hierarchy?
It's called nepotism.
I thought you were going to go like, well, we value certain other traits. You're like, they liked me.
I am highborn, groomed for the position since birth. It is my title by right.
Ah, that is right. I remember your titles. You are noble, then, a noble human.
I pull out the bow, and I also show the ring.
I'm not sure what the bow proves, but the ring I recognize.
The bow is as much a symbol of my house as the ring. Well, my house has two sorts of branches. There is the Lord, and then there is the fist.
Yes. Here's the key. She pulls it off.
If you want, when I come back, I can tell you more about the heraldry.
I don't know. I might be busy.
The line of succession. I can tell you about my sister.
Oh, I gotta go to sleep.
Okay. She has two boys. Okay.
Yeah, so you have the key.
Cool. Yeah. And I say, well, Meepo, you stay here. We will collect you when it is time for the dragon thing.
Oh, okay.
Can we get to the south from that southern corridor there, or do we have to backtrack?
What are you referring? You mean? Wait, what?
There's a corridor south from here.
Yeah, you can go there.
Okay, and that leads. I ask her if that leads to the south wing eventually.
Yep. Okay. She says that will take you back to where you came from.
Cool. All right, back to standard marching order.
As you guys are walking away, you hear Meepo say some things to her in Draconic, and she starts laughing.
I look at Kristen when we're out of earshot to tell me what he said.
He said that you bathed him.
Good, we're getting a good reputation. I'm gonna have Raggedy.
Perhaps.
Well, I'm gonna have Raggedy check the first door we come across down here.
Cool. Oh, you're opening doors?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Opening doors. Oh, do we? No, I won't. If we decide to take those elixirs of health, we'll do it on the way back. Although if we're gonna go find, actually, can I pop back and get those elixirs of health? Would you be willing to let us have those now? Because probably, I honestly think the priest is probably what they're more useful against than the dragon.
Yeah. Yeah, they would hand you the elixirs of health.
How many of them were there?
1 vial with 3 doses. So 3 uses.
Yeah. I'm just wondering who I would give it to then, if I can't split it between people.
I mean, you could theoretically split it up between 3 vials if you have them.
Oh. I have used 1 charge of a healer's kit. Would that perhaps provide an empty vial?
We can look. A healer's kit says what it has in it.
Sure.
I think it says. I'm pretty sure they all describe. Yeah, it says right here. Bandages, salves, and splits. Sure, yeah. I'll say that there's a type of salve that's in a vial.
Cool. I'll split it. I'll put 2 doses in 1 vial then, and then 1 in another. And I'll keep the the 1 dose, and I'll give 2 doses to Kristen.
Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, so you split up the doses. You guys are dosing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And just remind me what conditions it removes. Blindness, deafness, poison.
Oh yeah. Blind, deaf, and poisoned, and paralyzed. The paralyzed is the big one. That one's like super good.
Yeah.
Because usually if someone gets paralyzed, they are fucked.
Yes.
Poisoned is really good to get rid of too, because often like the poison condition will stay for like an entire day or longer, which is kind of rough. Or very rough.
I mean, yeah, your blindness isn't very good either.
Yeah, well, with those though, it is often like a temporary thing. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely ways to get it on a longer
the way
basis.
it's worded, if you were like medically blind, would this cure you?
No, it removes the conditions. It doesn't cure blindness. It removes the blinded condition.
Does medically becoming blind not give you the blind condition?
I think there's probably something else to it than that.
Oh, come on, Marshall. It's a magic potion. Be cool. It's fine. Right.
I suppose it depends. If I'll say this: if your blindness was caused by a disease, then you have an even stronger argument because it also says it cures diseases.
Oh,
but if your blindness is because like someone stabbed you in the eyes, then or like you don't have eyes.
So is there anything else on there other than blindness, deafness, poison, paralysis, and disease?
That's it. Those are the 5.
Because we missed out disease that first time. Disease is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it does. You don't have to pick. It just cures all of these at once.
So it's like it sounds like it's basically greater restoration without the exhaustion thing.
In a bottle.
Yeah. Without the exhaustion.
Yeah. And I think with greater restoration, don't you have to pick what you remove?
I think so. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. So this is in a way better because if you theoretically had multiple conditions, then I think it would cure them all, which is pretty cool. And for some reason, the website I'm looking at has the French translation, Elixir de Santé. Anyway,
I ask our good friend Sir Ronald what this is.
And we call those the Elixirs de Santé.
Elixir de Santé.
Yeah. Oui. Okay. Anyway, he starts talking about like like French bread and stuff. He starts talking. He pulls out a cigarette and starts smoking. You're like, what the fuck? Where'd you get that?
I put on my beret. I get out my easel.
Yeah. There's nice music in the. Someone's painting.
I chomp on my baguette.
Yeah. Yeah. So, who's opening the door? Ragni?
Ragni with his torch.
Yeah, sure. Have him. He opens it up. Have Ragni make a perception check.
Okay. $19.
Yeah, he opens it a creak and then stops, and he says, "Whoa, there's a tripwire." And also when he does this, you hear from the other side of the door, "Hey, get it! What the matter? And Kristen says, "I think there's kobolds in there. I can hear draconic."
Tell them we got the ring door and we're sorry, but that they're very weird for putting tripwires in their room.
She says the first part.
but I have no way of knowing. So
yeah, of course.
Yeah. So Ragnar will now do the second southern door, but I'll tell him to this time purposefully open it very slowly and check.
Okay. Very. It's fine. There's no tripwire. He doesn't see any, and it appears to be a ruined chamber that's littered with rocky debris.
Empty.
It is. Yeah, I can actually remove the. Can I? Yeah, I can remove the door.
Yes. We think it's empty.
Yeah, it appears to be completely empty.
Okay. Very slowly open the top door.
Okay.
That was terrible.
Who's opening it?
Ragnar, after him.
When he tries to turn it, it appears to be locked.
I tell him to try the key.
And further, on the outside, it is barred with an iron rod.
On the outside?
Yeah.
So we could just unbar it?
You could unbar it. It appears to also be locked. Barred and locked.
But barred from this side?
Mm-hmm. Your side.
Okay. Well, we'll unbar it, and then I'll tell Ragnar to try the key.
It doesn't open it.
I knock on the door.
You hear movement.
I tell Kristen to ask in Draconic if anybody's in there.
Yeah. Yeah. So the goblins, or not goblins, the what? You hear you hear back some noises from the inside. Just weird noises. And Kristen says, at least I don't think Kristen understands them. What are all your languages?
Yeah, I don't think so. I said Draconic. I don't think anybody has anything crazy. Dwarvish. Aquan.
Aquan? Cool.
Alright, yeah. Nobody's got anything crazy. Actually, what was Tarius? Oh, no, Tarius would have shit languages. We did that intentionally.
Yeah, then none of you understand.
It's really hard not to metagame though, because you said goblins, and now I've seen and now I know what the bar was for, but I don't think Tarius would put that together necessarily. But he's not gonna, because he thinks this is the kobolds area, so he's not gonna go start crowbarring doors open. So, but I don't think I put the bar back. Can I make an intelligence check to see if I can figure out to put the bar back?
Sure.
Cool. Do you want to put an arbitrary DC? Do you want me to put an arbitrary DC on it, or do you want to put a DC on it?
Sure, you can.
All right,
you can.
I think 10. All right, I don't put the bar back unless any of my companions stop me. We're gonna keep going.
They're all like, I can't cross boss. Gotta leave it open.
All right. Well, it's still locked, but the bar's gone. Hopefully, the kobolds do a few patrols every now and then. Oh god. All right. Well. We move back into the room where we met the guy. You
hear in the distance, who left the fucking bar off?
Agni's gonna go up here, and this looks like it's. Oh no, there's a pretty long corridor up there. All right, we're gonna open this door, but it looks to be already open because I can see through it.
Which door are you opening?
North door of the room where we met Meepo.
It's just already open, I think.
Okay.
Or well, I don't think anyone put. No one put a lighting thing there, so it shouldn't be open, but it is.
Well, maybe it is open.
Maybe it is.
It appears to be. Ragni's going to peek around the corner. Is there any reason why that looks to be narrower than the rest of the hall?
It is just narrower. I mean, Ragni doesn't know why.
All right, Ragni's going to move back then, and then the tag team of Alessandro and Tarius are going to take his position and inspect the narrow corridor.
Yeah. Roll some perception checks.
Cool. 15 from Tarius, 9 from Alessandro.
Yeah, I mean, you guys don't notice anything particularly spooky inside.
All right. Tag team investigates, moves back, and Ragni...
Nothing but the screams of the dead.
Yeah, of course. Ragni's going to not run down, but walk down the narrow corridor. Is he okay? Nice. Is he alive?
He's fine.
Okay. Alessandro is going to follow him. Is he alive?
He's A-okay.
All right, everybody else is going to follow. Now we're all in there. Do we all die?
Everyone's fine.
Okay, cool. Ragni's going to approach this door, and we're going to do the usual thing.
I thought you guys were going to head south first.
Yeah, but I was curious about these doors.
Gotcha.
If we end up seeing goblins, then we'll turn back south.
Gotcha. See goblins. Immediately.
So yeah,
in that case, then?
Slowly open this door.
Yeah, as you slowly open this door, I think we're going to end the session here.
Sounds good.
Yeah, because there's way more, so
yeah,
it's not like you're about to finish.
Indeed.
But yeah, so you're slowly creeping the door open, and since you're interested in knowing, I'll say, it's probably been about an hour now.
About an hour. I'll write that down so we both remember when we come back to this next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ragni's torch will have expired.
Yes.
Yeah, he'll need a new one, which I assume he has.
Ragni would have lit it after you guys did all the stuff for the first 20 minutes, so actually he probably has another 10 or 20 minutes.
He lit it as soon as he got down. He had it lit while I was doing the...
Oh, that's right, yeah. So no,
he might
his goes out.
2 minutes or so, but it wouldn't be.
He's like, damn it, it's out.
So I'm just gonna write down. We have spent 1 hour in the dungeon. Okay. Cool. All right. So that's episode 10 of Difficult Terrain. We made it to the Sunless Citadel.
You did, yeah. Yeah. How do you feel?
I think it's
like
fun. I've never seen you run a module before. It's different. It's interesting. I've run a lot of modules, and I've played in a lot of modules, and I've never seen you run one before. So it's interesting seeing you read off of like module text and stuff. It's a bit surreal because you used to be really like against it. So it's interesting to be seeing you like not really against.
Is I against reading off of module text?
No, you just always used to be against running modules. You just always homebrew everything.
Well, I don't know if I was against them. I just enjoyed.
Okay, I've never seen. Okay, in the years that we've been playing RPGs, I've never seen you run one. So
yeah, although you got to keep in mind, for the first few years, I was running a homebrew system that
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. But so like even if I wanted to run a module, I would have loved if people wrote modules for Grailbane, but I enjoy modules. I just I often have to find the right module, and also I have to be in the right frame of mind to run one because I don't know, but yeah, no, I do enjoy them, and I like I especially like modules that have interesting systems that the players can interact with. And one thing I like about this one is that you have this political conflict in the dungeon between the goblins and the kobolds. I think every good dungeon should have some sort of political situation going on inside. That's not to say that there's no place for dungeons that are just hack and slash. And I mean, obviously the party, you could have just gone in here and immediately hacked the kobolds up.
Yeah.
But I find it really interesting when you give the players an opportunity to get involved in some dungeon intrigue, and that the idea that dungeons have an ecology to them, it's a living world. So I like dungeons that are designed like that. It's a pretty interesting one. And so far you have killed some rats.
Yeah.
And survived a trap.
And possibly killed something else, maybe in the window.
Yeah, that is true. You could have killed something else.
If it was a goblin,
the fair maiden.
If it was a goblin, then I'd be pretty sure it's dead. But maybe it's.
Although I might have rolled for its HP. It got high.
Maybe you did. Yeah. Can goblins even get over 9 hit points if we roll?
They can.
Is it what?
They can get 12.
D8 plus 4, is it? Really?
It's 2d6 plus nothing.
Really?
From what I'm looking at, yeah, it's 2d6.
Okay. Makes sense. What did I actually roll? It was it 9 damage on the attack? Do you remember? Yeah, it was 9 damage.
I think it was 9. Yeah. So taking the average, it would have killed a goblin.
Cool.
Something to consider. So yeah, let me just put this in. Okay, I am gonna say 200 XP for today.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be that slow grind from levels for here.
Oh yeah.
But I am over leveled for the dungeons. That kind of makes sense.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be slow.
Yeah.
It's gonna be real slow.
It's gonna be real slow. But hey, maybe when we get out of the dungeon, Tarius is planning on doing nothing for a couple of months because I would like Tarius to learn an instrument. If he survives.
That's okay. I like it.
Yeah. If Tarius survives, he's gonna learn how to probably play drums.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
Drums.
I think it takes like a month or maybe 3 months or 6 months or something, and then we're gonna go on our hunt for the Amulet of Health. But
nice.
Yeah.
Be killed in the process.
Gotta survive this first. I don't know what a whelpling does, but I'm pretty sure they can still breathe. And Tarius is gonna get fucked.
Wait, what? Tarius is gonna fuck what?
Tarius is gonna get fucked. If that's a dragon. And if it attacks.
Oh yeah.
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 What kind of dragon do you think it is?
I don't know. Actually, I mean, we've seen a white dragon in the area. I guess that would be my first
Maybe
assumption.
maybe they stole her baby.
Oh god. Oh no.
Now you guys are bringing around a pack of kobolds, and you've stolen this baby, and all of a sudden,
I offered you protection from the townsfolk, not from the dragon.
Arthurax, Lord of
the ice roaches.
Thousands of ice roaches come out of the ground, and you're like, what the fuck?
My players in my Friday game are getting close to winter, and there are going to be some ice roaches on the road. That's for sure. Yeah.
What kind of stats are you gonna? What kind of stats are you gonna give ice roaches?
I'm just going to make them Ankh eggs.
Ankh eggs?
Yeah, Ankh eggs. I think that's how it's.
What are those?
It's a pretty classic D&D monster. It's just a burrowing.
Oh, I know.
Chitinous.
I don't think I've heard of it. How's it spelled?
Ankheg.
Oh. Okay. Cool. Oh, yep. I've seen these. These look a lot like one of the monsters in Star Wars.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Looking at the picture, it looks like the. Oh God, I think we fought one in your first campaign. But I can't. Let me. Star Wars, Clone Wars monster. See if anything.
Well, you fought a Xylo. No, you didn't fight a Xylo beast. Well, a dark side party fought a Xylo beast. What did you fight? You didn't fight a lot of. I can't remember a lot of monsters in Dunes.
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Mm-hmm.
Found it. It's called an Acklay.
Oh,
I don't know why.
Yes.
But I think you did fight one.
I think you did, but it was a baby one because those are pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah. This is what it looks like. Oh, I don't know if that picture actually worked. Oh, I don't know what I just sent you, but
Oh, I can click on the link and see it. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it does kind of look similar. Yeah.
Yeah. It reminded me of that one. So
I'll probably just use that and make it a cold breath instead of a poison one or an acid one. Yeah.
Gotcha. Interesting. A cold. Oh man, that's actually okay. That's actually kind of fun. I like those stats.
Yeah. I like that.
Those are fun.
Those are fun. Yeah.
Are they gonna literally look like roaches?
Yeah, I think
like
so. I'll make them like with these gray shells, and then they have white skin. I think. Yeah.
I love it.
And then
ice roaches.
Yeah, and if the party eventually investigates, maybe they'll find out where they're coming from.
Maybe they find out.
That might be something for you to do when you get into the sandbox. So maybe I shouldn't speak too much about it.
Or maybe you should have me guest star and
help them with the ice. Or do you want to play?
No, I was going to say a role play as Scarthrax, Lord of the Ice Roaches.
Lord of the Ice Roaches. Yeah, I mean, what would Scarthrax do if Old White Death was off nearby fighting a wall? Would he let another white dragon take all the glory, or would he send his ice roaches out to fight the wall for him?
I think he would send several thousand ice roaches.
Well, you see, times have been hard on old Scarthrax. I think he only has several hundred ice roaches left.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
He's building up his strength.
Ooh, but in that case, though, he might be afraid that they'll all be killed.
Indeed.
So I think he might send out. I think he would send out some scouting parties to test the strength of his enemies, and then once he figures out what they're like, he might start to figure out more tactical movements. You know, can the ice roaches report back to him? I'm guessing they can.
Yeah, I imagine.
Can he so he can spy on them with them?
I think it's more like a pet thing rather than they can communicate. Like, you know what I mean? Like he can communicate them like you would a pet. Like he can.
Yeah, but he they can't communicate back.
Yeah,
basically.
Indeed. He can give them orders maybe, and they can like lead him somewhere and stuff like that. Anything like a pet would, I think, would be the way to.
Are these ice roaches monster? Or are they beasts or monstrosities?
They are monstrosities. But we can
maybe
make them beasts.
Get like a scroll of speak to animals and speak to roaches.
Well, that's fun for another day. Would you like to name our session and finish off the 10th, the decade anniversary? Hey, if this was the podcast, we've been relatively consistent. We missed 1 week so far. In 10 weeks, that's pretty good. This is the most consistent thing we've done in a while.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, Star Wars was fairly consistent for
I
a
meant,
long while. I mean,
like this is. I mean, like a production.
yeah, for sure.
Star Wars was pretty.
Yeah. So, what was I gonna say? Except of course for the large hiatus in the middle of Drops of Poison, or between Drops of Poison.
That's
and
true.
yeah,
Wait, no.
if you count that.
No, yeah. Drops. I'm pretty sure it was a seasonal. Gap.
Between Drops of Poison and the previous season. If you, I'm saying if you count that, which you don't have.
You absolutely.
What?
That absolutely doesn't count. It's like saying that there was a hiatus between seasons of a yearly television show. Of course not.
So yeah. The name of the session is. What was the name of last session?
It was weird. It was Tales from the Sunless Citadel.
Oh yeah, no, that's because you learned things about them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so we're gonna call this More Tales. No, we're gonna call this Under the Mouldering Ruins.